McCoys, starring Walter Brennan and Dick Crenna, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the real McCoys. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. That's Grandpappy Amos and the good-looking boys, his favorite grandson, McCoy. Want you to meet Pepino, the family's hired hand. And that's old George who lives next door, a friend and neighbor you met before. Together they share all the sorrows and joys of the family known as the real McCoys.
Come on now. Calm down. Come on. Take your medicine like a good girl, Agnes. Come on, honey. He's going to make you well. Now you heard me. Open your mouth and take your medicine.
Well, Senor Grandpa, maybe if you put her head up and hold her nose.
Now, how are you going to hold a cow's nose? And don't tell me how to tend sick cows.
I beg your pardon, Dr. McCoy. I will keep my mouth closed just like Agnes is doing.
Come on now, girl. Very good. That's the way to do it now, ain't it? See? That didn't hurt none now, did it? Now we give you some of this nice tasting drink here. Why don't you do the same for us and give us some milk?
It's pretty sick to me, Grandpa.
Don't worry. She'll be coming around all right.
Well, I still say we ought to call in the vets.
We ain't calling in no vet.
Well, now, look, if it's the money that's bothering you, I'll pay for it out of my own pocket.
Son, a vet ain't going to do nothing that this McCoy tonic can't do. It's been curing livestock for over 100 years. Why, this was a miracle drug before they had miracles.
Look, Grandpa, I ain't saying nothing against McCoy tonic for ordinary ailments, but that ain't no ordinary ailment. Agnes ain't give no milk now for 3 mornings.
Look, I know she ain't been giving milk. Ain't I the one that's been coming up empty-handed?
Well, she never acted that way before. Maybe she's got some kind of a new sickness, and the vet's got some kind of a new cure for it.
We don't need no new cure. Cows ain't like cars. They don't have new models every year. It's the same old cow and the same old cure work. Now, don't even talk you out of this, honey. And as for you, you ought to be putting your mind on more important things, like finding yourself a wife.
Now, don't go changing the subject.
I can't remember when I last seen you with a girl.
Well, I think that ought to be my own business. Besides, the only girl I'm thinking about right now is Agnes here. And I don't see where it'd hurt none to call in the vet.
And I don't see how it's going to help none either. I can cure the patients. And come to think of it, the both of you can just scat out of here. I don't recall giving no permission for visiting hours. Now, come on, here. Come on, scat, get out of here.
You know, I don't care what Grandpa thinks. I'm going to call a vet.
Wait, Senor Luke. You wouldn't go against Senor Grandpa.
Well, I don't like to, but it's something that's just got to be done.
What? I wouldn't do that if I was you.
Now, look, Peppino, you and Grandpa are going into town to pick up the feed and the fence wire. That ought to take you at least an hour. That's when I'm going to get the vet out here. Now, you try to talk Grandpa into staying in town just as long as you can.
Well, I'll try. But you know, Senor Grandpa, the only one he listens to is Senor Grandpa.
Just get him into town.
Ay, Chihuahua, ¿en qué líos me meto yo?
Oh, howdy, ma'am. Won't you come in?
Thank you.
Yeah. Is something I can do for you?
I'm the veterinarian.
Well, sir. Ma'am. You?
Yes, I'm Dr. Carter. I just started working with Dr. Johnson. He was busy on another case, so he sent me.
Oh. Hmm.
You look disappointed.
Oh, no. I was just expecting Doc Johnson. Well, I don't know about a woman doctor.
You too? What's wrong with a woman being a doctor?
Well,
And what's wrong with all the farmers in this community? It's hard enough to get started in a new job without everybody being prejudiced. Women have a right to follow any profession they choose. They've made important contributions to medicine and science. It's time you men realize that. Or are you still so old-fashioned you think a woman is just something with a wagging tongue that does a lot of talking?
Oh, well, I'd say that some of them are.
I'm sorry, Mr. McCoy. I apologize for that outburst. I'll tell Dr. Johnson you'd rather he came.
No, wait a minute now, wait. I think maybe you'll do just fine. As a matter of fact, you know, now that I think about it, Agnes might be more comfortable with a woman doctor.
Thank you, Mr. McCoy. I'll get my bag from the car.
Yeah.
Senor Luke, they didn't have the kind of fence wire that we wanted. That's why we came back so quick. I'll see you later.
Hi, Luke.
Hi, Grandpa.
Hey, Luke. Can I have a word with you?
Pardon me.
Who's that?
Oh, girl.
I can see that. I ain't too old to remember what they look like. You rascal, you finally come to life. Get yourself a real doozy, too. You're a McCoy, all right.
Excuse me, Grandpa. I want to kind of show around the place. Excuse me.
Look. Like, come with the place. You'd have a good look at me, too.
Grandpa,
Look, I know you want to be alone. I'll get lost. You just leave that to me.
well, all right. Yeah, this is my grandpa, Dorothy.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Nice meeting you, Mr. McCoy.
Well, you've been a mite worried here, late, but with you around, I think things is going to be all right.
Well, thank you.
And I just want you to know, if he thinks you're all right, why, you're just fine with me.
It's nice to know you don't object to women.
Object? Why, I've been all from ever since I was knee-high. I hope it won't be one of them long drawn out affairs, that's all.
I hope not, but on occasion these things do take
Well,
time.
shall we be going, Dorothy?
Old McCoy magic women. Nice to know we still got it.
First time I've ever taken care of a patient with a lookout at the door.
Well, I figure what Grandpa don't know won't hurt him. I sure appreciate your understanding the problem.
Well, at least it's comforting to know he approves of me as a woman.
Well, as far as that goes, he ain't the only one.
Thank you. It is definitely a virus infection. It seems to be concentrated in the lungs. The antibiotic shots will clear it up, though.
You think it'll take long?
I hope not. It might be kind of difficult to keep up our little game much longer.
Well, maybe so. But it's a game that could be kind of fun playing. Oh, not that I ain't wishing that Agnes don't get well fast.
Now, I'm going to have to give her 2 more shots today at 6-hour intervals and another series of shots tomorrow. And then I'll leave her some more of these pills. And as for this McCoy Miracle Tonic, I'll take the sample.
He's coming! Senor Grandpa, he's coming! And I'm going. Now, if he ever finds out...
Oh, well. Luke showing you around the place?
Yes, he is.
You like what you seen?
Very much. You have an awfully nice place here.
Yeah, of course, it would be nicer with a woman's touch. Excuse me, I'm going to see Agnes. That's our cow. She's been ailing.
Oh, yes, Luke was telling me. That's too bad.
Yeah, but with me tending her, she'd be finished a fiddle in no time now. Luke here wanted me to call in one of them vets, but I talked him out of it. I wouldn't leave one of them fat heads on the place.
Wait a minute, Grandpa. They all ain't fat heads.
Well, now, can you show me one that ain't?
Yes. And no.
Now, what kind of an answer is that?
One of the smartest ones I ever had. Man or woman, he just don't like vets.
Well, I've been out to see Agnes again. She's come along fine, just fine.
Yeah, well, it won't be long before that cow will be as fit as that fiddle you was talking about.
And I told you that McCoy tonic could do it, Luke. You just keep giving it to her now on schedule.
Oh, yeah, Grandpa, yeah. She'll be getting her medicine right on time.
It's Dorothy again. You sure got her hook, boy. Seems like she can't stay away from you more than 6 hours at a time.
Whatever it is I got that gets him, must inherit it from you.
Well, just don't be taking advantage of me, boy. You think the next time you should ought to be calling on her.
Yeah. Oh, evening, Dorothy. Come on in.
Hello, Mr. McCoy. I've seen him.
I don't like to be nosy, but what are you two up to tonight?
Oh, we're going for a drive.
Sounds like you're going to a drive-in movie. Whatever it is you're doing, well, it's just a good time.
Thanks. Well, good night, Grandpa.
Good night. Good night.
Hey, Peppina, where you going? Ain't you going to be watching tonight?
See, I'll be watching. I mean...
I'm talking about watching television. Ain't you going to be watching the show?
Not tonight, Senor Grandpa. My eyes hurt. I don't feel too good.
I hear that. Well, I bet be getting it warmed up. Oh, Dorothy. You might like to know, Agnes is coming along just fine.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
Good night, Grandpa.
Roger. Night.
She's a nice girl.
Say, Dorothy, I was wondering if you and me, well, that is, the both of us, could take in one of them drive-in movies sometimes. Oh, just so I won't feel like we've been fibbing to Grandpa. You see, I got a conscience that bothers me a heap.
Well, if it'll ease your conscience.
How about tomorrow night?
Fine, tomorrow night.
Well, you made me feel better. How about Agnes?
Say she's made a complete recovery.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Me too. I'm becoming a nervous wreck watching out for Senor Grandpa all the time.
That's what you ought to be doing right now.
When Senor Grandpa is watching his favorite TV show, he's glued to that set. He won't be coming into the bar.
What are you doing here?
Well, what are you doing here? You's watching television.
Well, the set blow the fuse or something. I come out here to take a look at Agnes.
The set blow the fuse? Grandpa, that's an emergency. You can't miss your favorite television show. Come on, I'll go inside and fix it for you. Come on.
Wait a minute. What's going on here? What's that?
Senor Grandpa, that's a bag.
I know it's a bag, and I also know it's the kind of bags doctors carry.
Mr. McCoy, that's my bag.
Yours?
Well, you see, Grandpa, Dorothy's a doctor.
Doctor? What kind of doctor?
A doctor. A people doctor.
People doctor? Well, who's sick? What's he doing here with a bag?
Me. I'm sick. Sí, me. Y los dolores que tengo.
Yeah, you see, Grandpa? Old Pepino's very, very sick, yeah. We was just leaving to go to the show, and Dorothy noticed Pepino looking sick, so she went out to the car to get her bag, then to take care of him, see?
I suppose these was the pills for Pepino?
Oh, yeah. She was just going to give him one, yeah.
That's fine. The sick boy's got to take his medicine. You want me to hold your nose?
I can't take it without water.
Well, I'll go fetch you a glass. Or maybe you'll be needing a pail of water. You'll be swallowing this people pill.
Senor Grandpa, suddenly I feel much better.
What do you take me for? I can see what's been going on behind my back.
Grandpa, I just had to do it.
Not only did you go against me, but you fibbed about it.
Mr. McCoy, I'm sorry you had to find out about it this way, but...
Sorry. Why, a woman's place in the kitchen, not in barns murdering cows.
Now, wait just a minute, Grandpa. Dr. Carter made Agnes well again. Look, you can see for yourself. She's feeling better.
McCoy tonic is what done it.
I ain't giving her your tonic in 2 days.
You ain't?
No, I ain't, Grandpa. I know I promised I would, but it was against the doctor's orders. I hated to do it, but you can see that she's well, ain't she?
The cow you think I've been murdering, Mr. McCoy, will be giving milk in the morning.
Woman vet. Ah! I hate to fool you this way in the middle of the night, but it's something that's got to be did. Now, if you give milk, it means you're well again, you see, and I'm glad. But they ain't gonna know nothing about it. They'll think you're still sick.
Rain? No, not this time of the year. I must be dreaming.
Correct, and you prescribed according to your report, then our patient should be well. Amos, you can talk all you want to about that McCoy tonic of yours, but you'd still have a sick cow on your hands if it weren't for Dr. Carter here.
Yeah, well, as far as I'm concerned, she's still sick. She ain't giving no milk yet, has she?
She's your patient, Doctor. Would you care to do the honors?
Thank you.
Well, Agnes, your A1 days are over. Here you are. Hey, girl, we got something to celebrate, so you start pouring.
I'm listening, but I don't hear nothing.
I can't understand it.
Well, I can. I told you no what was going to cure this cow, especially woman vet.
Dr. Johnson, I suggest we give her another series of shots and some more medication.
That should do it.
Now, wait a minute. We ain't going to give her no more or nothing.
Mr. McCoy, please let me give her some more shots. I know they'll work. I'll stake my professional reputation on it.
Who says you got a professional reputation?
Grandpa, let her try. What do we got to lose?
We got a cow to lose, that's what. Having a woman vet messing around ain't going to save her.
Amos, now you listen to me.
Dr. Johnson, it's no use. The farmers in this community just don't have confidence in woman vets. I'll be turning in my resignation and going back east.
Now, there's no reason for you to be hasty about this, Dorothy.
You've been wonderful to me, Doctor. My mind's made up.
No. Well, I guess you're pretty proud of yourself. All you have to do is give her a chance. Just one more chance to cure Agnes. Look, I don't mind you being mean and ornery and stubborn, but when it comes to something like this, making a girl give up her career, maybe ruin her life, that's just too much.
Well, all I got to say is, you had no right tricking me into thinking she was your girlfriend.
Say, look, sometimes it is not good to keep things inside. It can make you feel better if you come right out and say what you're thinking.
Well, you know what I'm thinking. Your Dorothy gives up her whole career, all on account of Grandpa.
I still say it will make you feel better if you say what you're thinking.
What's going on?
Well, the man's entitled to change his mind, ain't he?
What?
Your grandpa decided to do what Dr. Carter suggested. Give the cow another series of shots.
Well, now, wait a minute. I just happen to think. Maybe she don't need another shot. Maybe them first ones, well, you give her, took hold and she's ready to give milk.
Amos, any cow who was dry only an hour ago is still dry.
You can't do no harm to try. Go ahead, Luke.
Now, anybody knows that a cow that was dry only an hour ago ain't
All
about
right,
to get
then,
milk.
leave me. Now, you were saying.
I never heard of such a thing.
Why, if I weren't seeing it, I wouldn't believe it.
Young lady, I guess I was all wrong about you. You've done a good job.
Thank you, Mr. McCoy.
Well, I got my milking to finish.
Well, if you wait outside, I'll drive you home. I want to have a few words with Grandpa. Grandpa,
You know, Luke,
I want to thank you for changing your mind about that girl doctor.
well, I seen I was wrong, and I just wanted to make it right, that's all.
And Agnes, I'm sure glad that you're better. Yes, sir. But I don't understand how you recovered so quick. What? This ain't Agnes, Grandpa.
Hey, look,
Grandpa, you painted a white mark on her head to make her look like Agnes.
okay, so I did. This is Bessie, George McMichael's cow. I got Aggie over in his barn. I switched him this morning after the doc left.
Well, why'd you do a thing like that?
Well,
You did it so Dorothy thinks she made Agnes well.
Well, in a way, yeah, and in a way, Agnes is well.
Well, she didn't give no milk this morning.
Well, there was a reason for that. And you know, Luke, I figured it out why. You see, I woke up in the middle of the night last night, and I heard the goddamnest sounds coming from the barn. You know what them sounds was?
No, what?
Well, somebody sneaked in the barn here, and there was a milking Angus out without us knowing about it. You got something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's something, all right. But I wonder why them milking sounds didn't wake up Peppino.
Well, I was wondering about that myself, but I figured that out, too. That fella must have been milking kind of sneaky like, you see, like maybe in his hat or something.
Yep, that's just what he must have done, all right.
McCoys, starring Walter Brennan and Dick Crenna, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the real McCoys. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. That's Grandpappy Amos and the two-looking boys, his favorite grandson Luke McCoy. Want you to meet Peppino, the family's hired hand. And that's old George who lives next door, a friend and neighbor you met before. Together they share all the sorrows and joys of the family known as the real McCoys.
Oh, easy now, easy. You don't want to be bruising the prize McCoy produce. Put it over on this side here, Peppino.
Sit here.
I done told you to put the best boot on the bottom, because that's the way the women look when they don't want to be fooled.
Forget the other.
Well, I guess we're all packed up. Yeah, hey, wait a minute now. You see, we get everything here. Get peaches, oranges, pears, grapes, plums, bananas, and apples. Yep, sure looks pretty, don't it? You know, I got me a feeling we sell the whole goddamn load and come back for more.
Senor Grandpa, what makes you think you'll be able to sell all this to the new health farm?
I ain't thinking, I'm sure. I just found out the place is owned by a woman. And with a pair of us McCoys as salesmen, how can we miss?
Yeah, how could you miss?
Grandpa, there is just an outside chance that they might turn us down.
What are you talking about, boy? Ain't you found out by now? Why, women are just helpless when we turns on the McCoy charm.
Yeah, I know that, Grandpa, but, well, maybe they're all stocked up on fruit and vegetables. Or maybe they buy their produce from somebody else.
Well, running into any trouble like that, guess I'll just have to give them both nipples. Well, come on, let's get going.
Now, if you happen to run into any trouble by making the sales to the ladies, just call for me. With my Latin charm and my cute accent, I'll come to the rescue.
Ain't that the silliest thing you ever heard? That's like Rudolph Valentine courting Peter Barron calling on Buster Keaton to help him out.
Okay, now we're going to do the big scissors. You spread your arms and your legs and swing wide, remember? Okay, follow me. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
See what I say?
1,
Yeah.
3, 4.
He's good looking. Not him, the food. It's been so long since we've had anything substantial to eat. That's probably a mirage. I'm so hungry I could eat a mirage.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Look, carrots, aren't they lovely little plums? I've never seen such beautiful peaches.
Yeah, well, they ain't half as beautiful as the peaches I'm looking at right now.
Are they for sale?
Oh, you sure are, but first you can help yourself to a free sample.
Oh.
Yes, sir, the finest produce in the country. Growed on the McCoy farm with tender and loving care. Ain't that a fact, son?
Sure is, Grandpa.
Forget that grandpa stuff. Just call me Pa. Real tasty, huh? Well, don't know who the boss lady is around here, but she wouldn't be making no mistake if she...
Girls, you know you shouldn't be doing that. Go
gorging yourselves on that ordinary food. Oh, get rid of that, girls. But each piece of fruit must have at least 100 calories.
Well, there ain't nothing on that fruit. We wash off the bugs, and if it don't work, we stomp on them.
If you gentlemen are here to sell your produce, you come to the wrong place. The girls' basic diet is yogurt and wheat germ.
Well, it sounds like that should be stomped on, too.
Good day, gentlemen.
Yeah, ma'am, just a second there, ma'am. Surely you must use some fresh fruit and vegetables, don't you?
We do, but not the type you're selling. This is a health farm, and all of our fruits and vegetables must be specially grown.
I don't know nothing about this special growth stuff you were talking about, but there ain't nobody grows better stuff than us McCoys does.
That's for sure, ma'am.
We consider food that is not specially grown harmful and unhealthy.
Harmful and unhealthy? Why?
Grandpa, now calm down. Don't get yourself all head up until we find out what the lady's talking about. Just what is it you meant by this special grown?
Well, my specially grown food has been naturally fertilized and delicately sprayed with my own formula. This way we're convinced that the bugs stay away from the plants.
Well, now, you might be convinced, but you'll have a hard time convincing them bugs.
Mr. McCoy, we hold to our theory. And though you might disagree, I repeat, we consider food like yours harmful and unhealthy.
Harmful and unhealthy? Why, us McCoys has been farming since Washington made that trip across the Delaware to go buy himself some McCoy rhubarb. And us McCoys have been eating what we farm. We're the healthiest people in the world. My pa lived to be 100, and his pa made it to 102. And the only thing that done him in was a fight with a square dance fiddler. And all that blabbing of yours...
You hush up, Grandpa.
I hear a lot of crazy stuff, but this newfangled thing is about growing specially grown vegetables. Why, that beats all get out. No wonder that wheat has germs.
I agree with you, Grandpa, but there ain't nothing we can do about it, so just take it easy. Keep calm.
Look, considerably am calm.
Well, how come your Adam's apple is still bobbing up and down?
Calm.
Ma'am, I want to apologize to my grandpa. He's a little hot-tempered.
I understand.
Yeah, well, I ain't saying I disagree with him, though.
Well, we're all entitled to our own opinions.
Well, that's for sure. Of course, Grandpa thinks he's more entitled to his opinion than anybody else. Bye, ma'am.
Mr. McCoy, are you familiar with calisthenics? Do you do any exercising?
No, I'm afraid not, no. What with hoeing and plowing and chopping wood and digging irrigation ditches, I'm afraid I don't have no time for exercise.
Well, if you do have a little free time, do you think you could do a little work for me here on the health farm?
Work? Well, could be. What kind of work?
What I had in mind was, I thought you might be my physical director, sort of supervise the exercises for the ladies.
What? Me? Well, now, about all I could show them is how to dig ditches. Why in the world would you want me?
Oh, a little practical psychology, Mr. McCoy. A handsome, broad-shouldered, husky young man like you. It would give my clients a little more incentive. And I could teach you all there is to know in just a few minutes.
Well, thanks for all them compliments, ma'am, but me on a lady's farm? Why, I'd feel as out of place as a bull in a dairy. No, I guess not. Thanks, ma'am.
Oh, Mr. McCoy, the work is really very easy. Look, actually, we just go through the movements of giving our clients exercises. You see, most of them are wealthy and bored and not enough to do around their homes. And it makes them feel that they're accomplishing something through our health courses.
Excuse me, ma'am, but I'd like to apologize for losing my temper like I done. But I've been listening to what you've been saying. And the boy here, he'd be a perfect man for the job. Huh? Now, Luke, don't be so John Morris. Look, he's all physical muscle. Look at them arms. He's more muscle on him than a bunch of bananas. There ain't nothing he can't do. Why, just last week, one of my heifers got herself stuck deep down the mud hole. You know what he done?
What?
Well, he put his arms down on that heifer like that. Them 4 legs come popping out of that mud like corks out of that sidey jug. He done it just like that, too.
Oh, now, Grandpa, it wasn't just like that. I did have a little trouble with the left hind leg. And she wasn't what you call a big cow.
Ain't he the modest one, though? He ain't only strong, but he's fastest thing this side of a jackrabbit. Why, back in Smoky Corners, this boy here won every race that every 4th of July picnic.
No.
Yes!
Well, now, there was that one time, Grandpa, remember? I took second.
Well, yeah, I do remember, but that was to be expected, Luke. What with your leg in the cast? I'm telling you, ma'am, you couldn't find yourself a better man for the job.
Oh, fine. Be here tomorrow morning around 10, Mr. McCoy. I'm sure we'll have things well under control. Goodbye.
He'll be here, don't you worry.
Bye, ma'am. Wait a minute. How'd I get myself into this? I ain't gonna take no job like that.
Well, you already done took it, Luke.
Grandpa, I can't do
Now
nothing.
it's your turn to hush up, boy. Don't you see, with you working here in the place, I figure you can kind of wheedle your way into getting through to buy our produce.
Hey, I hadn't thought about that.
Well, you know how I was telling you about us McCoys getting our way when we turn on the charm. But we do even better when we turn on the sneak.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, ladies, time for your exercises. Come on now, everybody up. Everybody up.
Oh, Mr. McCoy,
Yeah?
you have such a wonderful physique. Those muscles.
Oh, well, I ain't never noticed. They've been with me for so long. All right, ladies, line up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, ladies, that'll be all for this afternoon. It's time for your siesta.
I told you were the right man for the job, Mr. McCoy.
Well, thanks, Miss Simpson.
4 of our girls have already enrolled for an extra week.
Well.
You shouldn't be so modest about those muscles. They're really something.
Oh? Well, I got a whole mess up over here, too. See you later.
Well, we're all set with a crate of oranges, peaches and plums, and you know, I got an idea we can sell some apples and grapes.
Well, you're getting your hopes high again, senor.
Well, what can go wrong now? Luke over there for 3 days of buttering up that there Miss Simpson.
Well, even though you're usually wrong, senor Grandpa, I hope you're right.
Of course I'm right. You've got us just what you might call an inside job. But here he comes now. The athletic director of the Venus Health Farm. The sales director of the McCoy Farm.
Hi, Grandpa.
How do things go today?
Oh, fine, just fine.
You get along good with them women, that there Miss Simpson?
Well, I'd say so. Yeah. And I got some real good news, too.
Yeah? Well, what's your good news?
Well, with me being athletic director, 4 of them ladies signed up for an extra week. It's all in knowing how to handle ladies, Grandpa. Watch. All right, ladies, now, all together. Hands on hips, place. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, take your siestas now. Oh, I tell you, I feel great, Grandpa. Great. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That boy's muscles is done gone right to his head. Luke, you've been over at that place 3 days now.
Yep. 3 invigorating bodybuilding days at the Venus Health Farm.
I ain't heard nothing about no order.
What order?
What order? What order? The whole idea you're working there was to get us a big order of produce.
Oh, yeah, well, no, Grandpa. They couldn't order nothing from us.
Why not?
We only eat Miss Simpson's special growed food.
Oh, we do we?
Well, now, you take this carrot, for example. It wouldn't have none of the health-giving qualities it's got if it wasn't that it was special growth.
Peanut, is he saying what I'm hearing?
Senor Grandpa, I think Senor Luke has been brainwashed.
Brainwashed? A man can't be brainwashed unless he's got brains. You idiot. You knockhead. Prancing around here like a peacock with your 1, 2, 1, 2. And a nibbling on that carrot like a gall-done rabbit. Falling for a lot of phony malarkey.
Miss Simpson told me I'd find a lot of people who just don't understand our health theories. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All you McCoys up there, I hope you're flying around upside down today, so you can't see what's going on down here.
Amen. Well, you ladies was real good with your exercises today. Hope you enjoy your little siesta.
Oh, I'm so pleased with the way you girls have been doing your exercises. There'll be a special treat for dinner tonight. What? Raisins with your yogurt. Meanwhile, don't forget to take the pills to curb your appetite. Let's see what he wants.
Morning, ladies.
Morning.
I guess you'd all like to know what that is about, huh?
Uh-huh.
Well, I got something mighty pretty under there. You'd like to see what it is?
Yeah.
Peanut. Unless you'd like to buy some of what you just seen.
Now I know how things must have been during Prohibition. Me too.
Well, the peaches and the pears are a nickel apiece, and the plums are 3 for a dime.
Look at
Eat hearty, girls. I'll be back this afternoon with more goodies.
Oh,
As soon as I get hooked with eating again, I'll raise the price on it.
Is he here yet?
no, and I'm starving.
When's he coming?
We ought to be here any minute.
There, hey, watch for Miss Simpson, huh?
We got something extra special this time.
Sandwiches.
Real bread and everything.
The sandwiches are selling for 20 cents apiece. No charge for the butter. The apples is a nickel apiece, and we get an extra special today on bananas at 6 cents apiece.
I'll have a sandwich, a banana and an apple.
And I'll have the same.
Girls, I think we're making a big mistake. I mean, we came to the Venus Health Farm for a reason. We're just undoing all the good that's been done if we're going to sneak food like this.
What are you talking about, undoing good? What could be better for you than fresh fruit that was grown on the McCoy farm and a good ham and cheese sandwich?
Well, during our stay here, we're supposed to stick to the rules.
Rules? Why, that stuff right there is a lot better than them pill sandwiches you've been eating here. Pill between two pills.
The pills are for curbing the appetite, and we're taking exercises to keep us trim. And after all, if we're paying $200 a week, we should...
$200 a week? You pay $200 a week for staying here? For the privilege of starving? Why, you're just throwing your money away. This crazy idea about what to eat and all them exercises. Why, you know what I heard that Simpson woman say about them exercises?
What?
She said she was just having you go through the motions like you thought you was doing you some good, you see.
She said that?
You girls ain't the one that's being trimmed. It's your pocketbook. Now, believe me, I could show you girls how to get in shape and keep healthy and eat all the good food you want. But, well, anybody who throw away $200 a week, they wouldn't have brains enough to listen to a little good common sense.
I don't know about that, Mr. McCoy. I think we will.
All right. Now, look, if you want to listen, here's what I got to say. Now, tomorrow morning, you get all the...
Well, all set to give the little ladies their workout, Miss Simpson.
There are no ladies here to give a workout to.
What do you mean?
I mean that nobody showed up for breakfast. I've been looking all over the place, and there's no sign of anybody.
Miss Simpson. Miss Simpson.
Yes?
I just talked to the hired man. He said he saw all the girls going off in their cars, and he heard them say something about going to the McCoy farm.
The McCoy farm?
Oh, sounds to me like Grandpa's up to no good.
What could he be up to?
Well, I don't rightly know, but I got me a feeling that he's about to turn on the sneak full blast.
Well, hi. Welcome to the McCoy Health Farm.
The McCoy Health Farm?
That's right.
What are you talking about?
Well, maybe I better show you. Come on, take a tour of the camp.
Buenos dias.
Yes, sir. There ain't no better way for a woman to keep herself in shape than good old-fashioned housework.
Why,
I'd say why not? Oh, I'd like to have you meet our athletic director of the McCoy Health Farm.
Senora.
He tells them what chores is to be did next. And say, I'd like to show you some more invigorating bodybuilding exercise. Just follow me. Now, this is our extra special course for them that needs it most.
Helen!
Hi, Miss Simpson.
Now, this is guaranteed to keep her in a lot better shape than that 1, 2, 3, 4 of yours. Why, that system of yours, you got them maids looking a lot trimmer than they do.
Senor Rampa, 12 o'clock.
Oh, the girls, that's all for now. It's time for your siesta and lunch. Dig in. See, instead of pills, they get nice big sandwiches. Instead of yogurt, fresh whole milk from a fresh whole cow. Instead of carrots, McCoy fruit grown by nature and helped by us McCoys. Now, don't worry about your weight. And don't be bashful about seconds. Whatever you put on in the dining room, you can take off in the kitchen. For them pills you're on, you should ought to take one yourself and put some sense in your head.
Well, this is gratitude. After all the time and hard work I've devoted to you ladies, to give you all the benefits of my health farm. If you're so vulnerable as to be taken in by this...
Now, Luke, you're a little too big for woodshedding, but there's three things I got to say to you. One, them muscles you got from doing good, hard work on the farm. And two, you're strong and healthy because you've been eating nothing but good, plain food and none of that fully growed stuff.
Yeah, you're right, Grandpa. I've been a stupid fool. Well, what was the third thing you was going to tell me?
Well, we can skip it. You just said it. Hey, Luke.
Yeah, Grandpa?
You feeling all right, are you?
Well, sure, why?
Your muscles ain't hurting you?
No. Well, what are you getting at, anyways?
Well, I just thought you might as well take advantage of them exercises you learned at the Venus Health Farm.
Oh, now, Grandpa, how can I do that?
Hey, come on, get on your feet. I'll show you now. Come on, get up here. Take the ball, holding your hands like that.
Yeah?
Now, by the count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1,
Wait a minute, Grandpa. What good's this going to do?
Well, for one thing, it'll improve your figure.
I ain't interested in improving my figure.
And for another thing, I'll get the head fishing done. Now, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
Living like good folks should live, happy as kids with toys. They've got their troubles, but they got much more of the things in life that they had before. Together they share all the sorrows and joys of the family known as the real McCoys.
McCoys, starring Walter Brennan and Dick Crenna, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the real McCoys. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. That's Grandpappy Amos and the two little boys, his favorite grandson, Luke McCoy. Want you to meet Pepino, the family's hired hand. And that's old George who lives next door, a friend and neighbor you met before. Together they share all the sorrows and joys of the family known as the real McCoys.
Oh, Senor Emma.
What do you think you're doing here?
Well, I'm painting the barn.
Like that?
Well, I thought maybe it looked nice with a few designs. But if you don't like them, I'll take it right off.
Yeah, now, wait a minute. I suppose that PG there stands for you, and that CR is for Chiquita. That pretty little senorita you go with?
Used to go with. She gave me the bounce.
Oh, well, that's too bad, Pepino.
My house is broken.
The wheelbarrow she is broken, the axe handle she is broken, and you ain't done a lick of work around here in the past week. So why don't you find yourself another girl and forget this Chiquita?
How can I forget the beautiful girl I'm in love with?
Well, what happened between you and her?
Well, she's now going out with Pedro, Senor McMichael's new hired hand. My life is full of emptiness.
You tried getting her back?
Oh, what chance would I have?
Well, now, that ain't no way to talk. Anything worth having is worth fighting for. Now, Peppino, you better go after this Chiquita girl again and give her both barrels. Give her all the ammunition you got. That Pedro?
That is Pedro.
I'm afraid the ammunition ain't gonna do you no good.
Hi, Mr. Peppino.
Hi, George.
George? I come to borrow that sack of grain we was talking about. Oh, I'll go get it. Thank you.
You know, George, I always say a man who has to borrow things, he just ain't tending to his farming right.
You ain't the only one who said that. I said the same thing last week when you come to me for chicken feed.
Yeah, well, you just remember to be returning that grain to me as quick as I returned that chicken feed to you.
I will. I don't think you meant my new hired hand. This is Pedro.
Well, howdy, Pedro.
Senor McCoy.
Pedro, how are you?
Here you are, Senor McMichael.
Oh, I will put it in the car, Senor McMichael.
George, I guess this here Pedro fella's like all the rest of them hired hands you've been trying out, lazy and shiftless. I suppose you'll be getting rid of them right soon now, huh?
Getting rid of him? Pedro? Amos, I finally found myself a real good hard worker.
Oh.
You know what he did today already? He plowed, he put new wiring in the hen house, he pruned my apple trees, and he dug a new irrigation ditch. I'm going to hold on to him as long as I can. Well, see you later.
So long, George.
See you, George.
Thanks for the grain.
Yeah, I'll be thanking you for hurrying back on it, too. Pedro, huh? Plowed, put new wire on the chicken house, pruned the apple trees, dug in a new irrigation ditch. Fine hired hand we got, Luke. All he done today was lug a sack of grain 10 feet and paint us a pretty little heart on the side of our barn.
You ain't hardly touched your food.
Oh, I don't have an appetite.
Oh, come on now. Cheer up. You know, I got me a hunch that Chiquita's going to give that Pedro the bounce and just come running back to you.
Why, sure she will. She'll come to her senses and realize that good things comes in small packages.
You must be thinking of diamonds, not a small package like me. Oh, I don't stand a chance with this Pedro. He's got a car, he's got money. And Chiquita likes somebody to take her to nice places and buy her beautiful things.
Well, now, look, I've seen folks bit by the love bug before, but looks to me like he's been nipped by a whole hive of them.
Yeah, sure needs help.
Say, maybe if we still even use our car for courting might help him, huh?
If Chiquita likes beautiful things, I don't think we got the right car.
Well, you couldn't find a better one for romancing than ours, Luke.
Hmm?
Now, if you used to tell a girl that the car's busted down and you could do nothing but park, why, she sure have to believe you.
Well, I'm afraid we ain't got nothing for Peppino to show off with. Unless maybe we was to pay him the back wages we owe him.
Well, now, look, even if we had it, it'd be the worst time in the world to give it to him. You know, that Chiquita sounds to me like nothing but a goddamn gold digger.
Well, it don't matter what you think about her. Peppino's in love with her. I sure wish we could think of some way to help him out.
Well, we got to think of something. Of course, I'm working under a handicap, trying to help Peppino out in a case like this. You see, with all the girls I ever knowed, why, I was always in Pedro's place.
Chiquita, tonight, would you like to go to the dance with me?
Oh, I'm sorry, Jose, but I already have a date.
But Chiquita...
Hello, Mr. McCoy, how are you?
Oh, Chiquita, I never knowed you worked here.
See, I have been here for about 6 weeks now. But I'm surprised to see you here. I did not know you like Mexican food.
Mexican food? Why, I love it. Next to ham and eggs and hominy grits, I'll take them enchiladas and tacos every time.
Very good here.
Then that's what I'll have.
One enchilada and tacos.
Chiquita, how about tomorrow night?
Oh, I'm busy tomorrow night, too.
I'll give Peppino regards.
See.
Peppino's feeling fine, real fine.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but after all, how do you expect a fella to feel that's coming into a lot of money?
He's coming into a lot of money?
Yes, sir. He's going to be in real good shape, this Peppino of yours.
Oh, well, how did this happen?
Well, you see, he had a lot of back pay coming, and I've been saving it for him. And next week, I'm giving it to him in one lump. And half his salary for the past few years, well, that lumps up pretty good.
Well, I'm very happy for Peppino to hear of his good fortune.
Chiquita,
Huh?
how about the night after tomorrow night?
Thank you.
Well, it looks mighty fine.
That was good of you to save all that money for Peppino.
Yeah, and another good thing is he's got a sensible girl like you to see that he don't spend it foolish.
Don't let me disturb you any longer. Don't let it get cold, Mr. McCoy. It's much better when it is hot.
I know.
Huh?
Well, he had a date with her last night, and I think it... Oh, looky.
Yes, Cerrito. Love's a wonderful thing. Makes the world go round. Also gets barns painted.
Well, I still don't think it was right you fibbing to Chiquita about Peppino getting his back pay.
Well, now I want fibbing Ato. He's going to get it. Sometime. Just made a little mistake about when.
Hi.
Hi, George.
George?
I'm returning the sack of grain I borrowed. Look, would you give me a hand? It's kind of heavy.
Oh, don't bother, George. I can handle it.
Thanks.
What's wrong with the hired hand? Why couldn't he bring it over?
Hired hand? Hardly done a stitch of work in 2 days. Oh, I just sits around moping. I don't know what's come over him. His heart ain't in his work anymore.
You don't say. I mean, that's too bad.
A fine worker. And all of a sudden, he's enough. I can't figure a man changing like that.
Well, it is kind of hard to figure, ain't it, Luke?
Yes, sir, Grandpa. Hello, Senor McMichael. Say, Grandpa, I just finished painting the new boards in the barn. I fixed the wheelbarrow, the axe handle, and I weeded the vegetable patch. Now I'll go do the plowing, and I will also prune the trees this afternoon. So the first thing in the morning, I can start painting the chicken coop.
Good, Peppino. Good boy.
Adios, Senor McMichael.
And now, George, what was you saying about Pedro?
You know darn well what I was saying about Pedro, you old goat. I said he ain't done a stitch of work in 2 days.
Well, like I ought to say, it takes a good farmer to pick a good hired hand.
Pedro, that thing's for hoeing, not for leaning on.
Si, senor.
Pedro, you and me have got to have a little talk.
Yes, sir.
Now, when you first come here, you was a fine worker. Last couple of days, you can't seem to get nothing done.
I'm sorry, Mr. McMichael, but I'm having troubles.
Yeah? What kind of troubles?
Trouble with my girl.
Oh, sure, that's it. Oh, well, I'll tell you. I'll give you a little advice. The best way to forget a woman is to put your heart and soul into your work.
But that is not so easy. This Chiquita, I like her very much. But she has gone back to Peppino.
You mean McCoy's Peppino? You mean she'd rather got with him?
See?
Well, not that I get anything against Peppino, but I think, between the two of you, a girl would pick you.
Sure. But I think it is because of Peppino's money.
Peppino's money? Money is something that he's even shorter of than he is. Where do you get the idea he had money?
No, in the El Toro Cafe in town, I hear from Jose that Mr. McCoy is going to give Peppino all his back pay.
And this Jose, did he tell you where he heard it from?
In the El Toro Cafe, he heard Mr. McCoy tell Chiquita.
Oh, sure, that's it. Why, that... well, two can play at that game. And you try to forget things for a while and get back to work, huh? I get a little work to do myself.
Chiquita, I was thinking, maybe tonight you go to the dance with me.
I'm sorry, Jose, but I am busy tonight. Good afternoon, senor.
Howdy, miss. I'm looking for a girl named Chiquita. Is that you?
See, I am Chiquita.
My name is McMichael, George McMichael. I think you know my hired hand, Pedro?
Oh, see, I know Pedro.
Well, might as well come to the point. I've been asking around the community of people who know Pedro about his character and what kind of a person he is. You see, I'm thinking of making him a partner in my farm.
A partner?
Sure. That's the only way to keep a good man these days is let him share in some of the profits.
Won't you sit down, Mr. McMichael?
Of course, already I know he's a fine worker, but before I make him a partner, I'd like to find out about his personal habits. Now, do you know if he drinks or he gambles?
Oh, Pedro does not drink, and he does not gamble. He is a fine character.
Well, that checks up with what the other people have been saying. Say, I'd appreciate it if you didn't say nothing to Pedro about this. You see, I want to spring it as a big surprise about me making him a partner.
No, I will not say anything, Mr. McMichael. Even when I see him tonight, I will not mention it.
Oh, you have a date with him tonight?
See, I will have a date with him tonight.
That's good.
Now listen, Grandpa, fibbing about Peppino getting his back pay is bad enough, but well, the way it backfired on George.
Look, at the backfire part is what I like most. I've yet to see the day when I can't outsmart that dim-witted old coot. Well, let's be getting supper, Luke, and then we'll... Oh, George. Just talking about you.
Well, I wasn't that sweet.
Well, what can we do for you?
Oh, nothing. Seeing it was supper time, I thought I'd come around and wish you a healthy appetite. I get some free time on my hands and thought I'd be neighborly.
Free time? I didn't think you'd be having no free time doing all them chores that there Pedro's supposed to be doing.
Oh, Amos Pedro's his old self again, running around the place working like crazy.
He is?
Yeah. His girl called him. Chiquita, I think her name is. He's taking her out tonight.
Hey, look, that girl Peppino goes with, her name's Chiquita, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Didn't he say he was going out with her tonight?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Well, you must be mistaken, George.
No, I ain't mistaken. I was in the house when she called and they made the date.
I can't figure out why a girl's changing her mind like that.
Well, I guess when she heard that rumor, she figured Pedro would be a better catch.
What rumor?
The rumor about me making him a partner in my farm.
That's the funniest rumor I ever heard.
Yeah, ain't it? Sure beats the one about you giving Peppino all his back pay.
So, you're the one that's back of all this. Of all the low-down, conniving things to do.
Well, now look who's calling who's sneaking low down and conniving. I beat you at your own game, didn't I? I yet to see the day you could outsmart me, you dim-witted old coat.
Get out of the way, Luke. I don't want you to get hit in the face and none of his flying teeth.
Wait, anything flying around is gonna be yours.
You're both acting like a couple of kids. Wait, just a minute. I want to let both of you have a go at one another. Maybe you could pound some sense into your stupid heads.
Stupid? Who's got a stupid head?
Now, look, fighting ain't going to do no good. And telling lies to Chiquita, that ain't going to do no good neither. What you ought to do is stop thinking about yourselves and try to do something to really help Peppino and Pedro. You know she's no good for them. Why, they're just wasting their time with a girl like that.
He's right, Amos.
Well, don't you think I know it?
First fella that comes along that she thinks has got more money, she'll give both of them the bounce.
That's for sure.
Wait a minute. Wait just one goddamn minute. I don't think we have to wait for nobody. Because I think I got someone right now.
Who?
Jose, that big fella that runs that Mexican restaurant.
Jose, he ain't got any money.
He has, according to the rumor that's going to be going around.
Good evening, senores.
Oh, good evening, Jose.
I know you, senor.
No, but I know you. At least I heard about you. And I want to offer you my congratulations.
Thank you. This way, please.
I want to congratulate you, too.
Oh, me too. You're a lucky man. Yes, sir, a very lucky man.
Perdón, senores. This congratulations, what is it for?
Well, you mean they ain't told you about it yet?
Who hasn't told me about what?
Oh, look, I'm just afraid we're getting ourselves into trouble here. We're leaving the cat out of the bag before he's got official word on it.
Well, don't they notify the big winners right away?
Yeah, well, they usually do. The awards committee must have slipped up. Look, Jose, would you do us a favor and just keep this to yourself until you get the official notice? You see, if they find out that we told you before they did, well, it might not set too well for us.
Official notice about what?
Good evening, Luke.
Good evening, Chiquita.
Mr. McCoy? Mr. McMichael?
Howdy.
I heard you giving Jose the congratulations.
You did? Oh, yeah. Well, we was just congratulating him on... We was congratulating him on the good food he has here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, congratulating them on the good food.
Oh, that is why you were congratulating him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will take your order now.
Coffee.
Coffee.
And what to eat?
Just coffee.
You're congratulating him on the food and all you want is coffee?
Oh, yeah, well, you see, we had our supper already.
Oh.
How much money did he win?
Well, I'll tell you how much money he won. Dollars. Car. Airplane.
With the coffee, the sugar, you would like it lumps or granulated?
I think this here sugar on the table would be just fine.
Oh.
You don't give a darn about our sugar. The only thing she's got on her mind is the kind of sugar she thinks Jose's going to commit.
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Me? I got a date with Chiquita.
How can you have a date with Chiquita when I have a date with Chiquita?
I will not believe I don't have a date with Chiquita until I hear it from her own lips.
Oh, you will hear it from her own lips. Lips that I will be kissing later.
Chiquita, who do you have a date with tonight?
Yes, who do you have a date with?
Here is who I have a date with tonight, Jose. We have just become engaged.
See me, Chiquita.
Come, my Jose.
See, my Chiquita.
Pedro?
Sí. She stood you up.
Me? You had a date with Chiquita too?
See?
Then you're the one she stood up.
No, she stood you up, but some of it slopped over on me. You know something?
What?
I think we're both better off.
I think we're both better off.
Let's go someplace and celebrate our good luck.
See, we will celebrate our good luck.
I know a place where there's a lot of señoritas.
Para mí?
3.
No, y para ti.
4.
I just hope that this time they each wind up with a different girl.
Brennan and Dick Crenna. Created by Irving Pinkett.
Want you to meet the family known as the real McCoys. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. That's Grandpappy Amos and the two little boys, his favorite grandson, Luke McCoy. Want you to meet Pepino, the family's hired hand. And that's old George who lives next door, a friend and neighbor you've met before. Together they share all the sorrows and joys of the family known as the real McCoys.
This one is full of women, too. Get out of here. Yeah, Peppino, I come to the conclusion that laundromats is like beauty parlors. They're all full of women.
Well, they should have special machines for men. I just don't like the idea of myself going around with some strange woman's slip.
Well, if I'd known there were so many women around here, I'd have washed my clothes before I brought them in. Until we get a new housekeeper, I guess this is the only way. Here, go find yourself an empty machine, will you?
Have you seen Ellie lately? No, I haven't. But I'm going to have Ellie and Charlie over for dinner Sunday night. They're such a sweet couple.
Yeah, we need soap, Peppino. Yeah.
You mean to tell me you haven't heard what happened between Ellie Chambers and Charlie Tuttle?
No. What happened?
Well, last night at the charity bazaar, you know the kissing booth they have? And that Betty in charge of it? Well, Charlie got a little more charitable than was necessary and made at least 12 trips to that kissing booth.
No. You're kidding.
Yes. Well, naturally, poor Ellie was not fit to be tied. They had words, and she gave him back his ring. And what's worse, he accepted it. Terrible, Charlie, in your life. I don't know why Ellie even wants to smile after that.
12 kisses at 50 cents apiece. Poor Charlie not only lost his girl, but $6 to boot.
Yeah, but look at all the fun he had. That's the funny thing about laundromats. They're supposed to be getting things clean, and here they are dishing the dirt.
I know Charlie from way back.
Let's wait outside while this stuff gets done.
What, and miss the news broadcast? Come on.
Hi, Luke. Peppino.
Oh, Howard, how are you? Thank you, Clark.
Well, gentlemen, any newsworthy items for the Valley Gazette, the biggest little newspaper in the West? Anything interesting happened at the lodge meeting last night?
No, just the usual thing. Everybody talking at once and nobody listening at once. Well, say, if you're looking for news, though, Grandpa went to that Grange meeting over in Pomona.
Your grandpa's told that to everybody in town at least once, so I wouldn't call that news anymore. Have you got any items from my personal column, like someone having a baby or someone getting married?
No.
Well, keep your ears and eyes open. It's people who make the news.
Oh, say, wait a minute, Elmer. There is one thing. About Ellie Chambers and her boyfriend.
Charlie Tuttle? Well, they're engaged to be married.
Oh, not anymore. Not anymore. No, she broke it off and gave him back his ring.
Say, that is news. You know the reason why they up and,
Well, it happened at the picnic bazaar last night. See, it seems as how Ellie got her dander up because Charlie was smooching with Betty in the kissing booth.
Yeah, he went back for too many helpings.
Say, that's a real hot item, a Jim Dandy. Oh, thank you, Luke. Thanks a lot.
What's this for?
I always pay for items I can use.
Oh, now, Elmer, you don't have to do that.
Take it, keep it. I pay for them. That's what keeps them coming in. And if you should run across any more interesting scoops, just get in touch with me. Well, see you later. Bye, Peppino. Bye, Luke.
Yeah. So long, Elmer.
Yours there, Clark.
$3 whole.
Yeah, just because we overheard something the lady said in there.
Yeah. Peppino, we got ourselves a gold mine. What? You and me can get rich if we just don't run out of dirty clothes.
Morning, Luke.
Morning, Pat.
Morning, Luke.
Nancy?
Oh, laundry again today?
Yeah, off to the laundromat.
Seems to me you had laundry when you come by yesterday. Either you're awful dirty over at your place or you're taking in washing.
Well, just one of them things keeps piling up.
What can I get you?
Oh, just a little water, maybe some air. Yeah, I'll take care of it. Excuse me, Nancy.
Water and air, water and air. Around here, when one of my customers say fill her up, they mean the radiator and the tires. I think I could make a fortune if I sold water and air and give away gas free. Oh, Pat.
Don't mind Pat. He's just in a bad mood today.
Well, you can't blame me. I had a big towing job this morning.
Well, what's wrong with that?
It was my own tow truck. It broke down. I had to call Jackson's Garage to tow it in.
Well, I better be getting along with my shopping. Will I be seeing you tomorrow night, Pat?
I expect so. It's been every Wednesday night now for more than 15 years.
Just want you to know I'm not the kind of girl who takes things for granted. So long, Lou.
Bye, Nancy.
Bye, Nancy.
Well, there goes a sweet, lovely girl.
Where?
I meant Nancy.
Oh.
You two been going together so long, you're just getting used to each other.
Yeah, now when we sit on our back porch and turn out the lights, it's just to keep the mosquitoes away.
Pat, if you don't think that maybe you and Nancy might be getting married soon or break off your engagement or something, do you?
Well, I wouldn't think of breaking engagement. Oh, Nancy's a wonderful girl. And besides, we got engaged for better or for worse.
Well, then, don't you think maybe you ought to be getting married?
Oh, now, I don't know about that, Luke. The way I figure it, this way the odds were with a man. Because the longer the engagement, the shorter the marriage. And there's another thing to take into consideration.
What's that?
Well, if we got married, I wouldn't have nothing to do on Wednesday nights.
Don't tell me about Helen. She's always boasting what a spotless house she keeps. All I know is I put my finger under the coffee table and it came away dirty.
Mine, too. I've never seen such a messy house in my life.
Somebody ought to speak to her about it. I don't even like to have a cup of coffee there. It's just... Really, she's really a very sad lady. She's the world's worst, huh? And poor Helen. Did you see that dress she wore to the tea yesterday afternoon? It must be at least 4 years old.
At least.
And so unflattering. Poor thing, when I told her how lovely she looked, and she actually believed me. Ruth, you've been awfully quiet this morning.
Well, I have something on my mind. I may as well tell you. I can't keep it a secret any longer. I'm going to have a baby.
A baby? Oh, Ruth, I'm so happy for you.
Well, not for 6 months, so don't tell us so.
Now, you know, there's one thing about me, Ruth. I can keep a secret.
Oh, me too.
Oh, so thrilled. So excited.
1, 2, 3.
Well, thank you, Elmer.
Thank you, Luke. You're doing a fine job. A stork's arrival's always good news.
Yeah.
Say, where are you picking up these hot items?
Oh, just getting around all over town. Keep my eyes and ears open and my shirts clean. See ya.
I just don't understand it.
Well, it can't be a coincidence, that's for sure.
You could say that again. Everything we've talked about showing up in the paper. Especially the big secret about me having a baby. Somebody's been blabbing.
Yeah, somebody. Oh, girl, word of honor, I didn't say anything to anybody. I swear it.
Then how did it get in the papers?
Oh, hi there.
Yes, it can.
Got to be. In fact, I remember seeing him talking to Mr. Clark, the editor.
Of all things, a listening Tom.
I've got a good mind to go over there and slap him silly with my wet wash.
Wait a minute. I've got a better idea. Maybe we can get him into trouble.
How?
Oh, we'll make something up. And girls, wait till you hear this. You just won't believe it.
What? What happened?
Oh, don't rush me. I mean, it's so surprising that I'm positively speechless. Guess what?
What?
Nancy Templeton and Pat Clemens are finally getting married.
No!
Married? Oh, girl, these years, I can hardly believe
On top of everything else, Nancy threatens to sue me.
Sue you?
Yes, sue me for printing a lie, making a laughingstock out of her, slander, libel, invasion of privacy. And then she's going to have her lawyer make up some other reasons.
Gosh, I'm sure sorry, Elmer.
Sorry. Fine lot of help, that is. And I had to go make a big front-page story of it.
Well, that picture you had of Cupid shooting his arrow at the heart was very cute.
Nah. Luke McCoy, you've got me into this. Now get me out of it.
Well, I got to do something about this. I'm responsible. Yeah, I didn't only get Elmer into a jam, but it made things pretty embarrassing for Nancy, too. Senor Luke, I have an idea. You're a very good friend of Senor Pat. Senor Pat is a very good friend of yours. So why don't you ask him to marry Senorita Nancy as a little favor to you? I said something stupid? Well, kind of. But you know, there's something in there I like. If Pat and Nancy was to get married, well, that'd make that front page story a true story. See? Well, after all, they've been going together for 15 years. There ain't no reason they oughtn't to get married. See? And then if he doesn't like it, he can always unmarry her. Maybe I could give him a little nudge. What do you mean by a little nudge? Well, you see, Peppino, to some fellas getting married is kind of like jumping off a high diving board. They just can't get themselves to do it without somebody standing behind them to give them a shove. See?
You know where the water is?
Yeah. Well, I didn't stop by for water this morning.
Oh? Well, if it's a key you want, you know where it's hanging.
No, the only reason I come by this morning, Pat, is to congratulate you. I read about you and Nancy in the Valley Gazette. Congratulations, Pat.
Well, I must say congratulations are in order.
Well.
Because it ain't true.
It ain't?
Sure ain't. It's just one of them rumors that some stupid blabbermouth must have blabbed to Elmer.
Well, I'm sure sorry to hear, though, that you and Nancy ain't getting married. You know, Pat, living alone by yourself, that's just a life of emptiness. A bachelor just don't know what real happiness is until he gets married.
Yeah, but by then it's too late.
You and Nancy, you're going to get married eventually, so instead of putting it off all the time, why don't you do it now?
Luke, I've been in the Army. You know sooner or later you're going to get KP, but you sure as heck don't volunteer for it. Oh, excuse me while I answer the phone. I hope it ain't my tow truck again.
Peppino, it seems you're not having too much luck, huh? Yeah. Well, this ain't as easy as I thought it was going to be. I can't give up. It's too important. Hey, I got an idea. What? I think I'll make Pat jealous. Yeah, if the fish ain't biting what's on the hook, it's time to change the bait.
Got me an order for a lube job.
Well, good. Say, Pat, you know the reason I was asking you whether you and Nancy was getting married or not? I was trying to find out how things really stand between you two.
How things stand between me and Nancy?
Yeah. Yeah, you see, I'm single now, too, and, well, I live a life full of emptiness myself. And I've known Nancy for a long time, and, well, recently I've been kind of noticing her.
You've been noticing her just recently?
Well, Nancy takes a little time to notice. But when you notice her, you really notice her. And naturally, knowing how things was between you and her, I didn't want to do nothing about it, but since we've been talking here, I can see that things ain't between you and her. So I guess you got no objection if I ask her out.
Well, now, Nancy and me, we are awful close friends.
Yeah, no reason that Nancy can't have another close friend.
I guess not.
Yeah. Well, I guess it'd be all right with you then if I was to call her up right now and ask her for a date tonight? Yeah. Say, you know, on second thought, instead of taking her out someplace, I think I'll just ask her to come over to the house. You know, it'd be more cozy that way. Just Nancy and me. A quiet little supper for two. By candlelight. What's her phone number?
Phone number?
Yes, phone number.
Phone number. It's been changed.
Changed what?
Well, it's hard to remember. It's one of them long ones.
Well, what is it?
Maple 823.
Maple 823. Yeah, I'm going to give Nancy a call right now. Her and me, we're going to have ourselves a real cozy time tonight. Yeah. Quiet little supper for two by candlelight. I get myself into a thing like this. Thought sure Pat had stopped me before I asked her for the date.
Well, here comes your girlfriend. You want me to get lost?
I'd like to get lost, but you'd better. Go on. Go on. Yeah. Good evening, Nancy.
Hello, Luke.
Evening. Oh, won't you have a seat?
Thank you. Won't you have a seat?
Oh, yeah, have a seat, yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, Nancy.
Luke, you can stop fidgeting. I know there's something on your mind, and I know it isn't me. So why don't you come right out and tell me why you asked me to be your date tonight, hmm?
Well, Nancy, you know that story on the front page of the Gazette?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I was the one that told Elmer about it.
You?
Yeah, I was down the laundromat and I heard a couple of ladies talking about you and Pat getting married, and I thought it was true. I'm awful sorry, Nancy.
Oh, you don't have to be sorry. For 15 years, I've been trying to make it come true.
Well, the whole idea tonight was I thought Pat'd get so jealous that he'd just up and ask you to marry him. And then it would be true.
So that's it.
Yeah, that's it. I know it was an awful sneaky trick to pull.
Yes, it was. You should hear some of the sneaky tricks I pulled to get Pat to propose. You know, Luke, I think Pat's just torn between his love for what he calls his freedom and his love for me. When are men going to realize that they just can't be happy until they're married to some sweet, understanding woman who will nag them?
Well, I'm still awful sorry about that story causing you all that embarrassment.
Oh, that's all right. I'll call the Gazette in the morning, and I'll tell Elmer that I've forgotten about the whole thing.
It's Pat.
What if he comes storming in a jealous rage?
Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll explain the whole thing.
Over my dead body. You put the flame under him, and I'm going to make it into a bonfire.
Oh, yeah, come in.
Luke, I'll tell you why I dropped by. I'm sending out postcards about a special I'm running on lube jobs next week, and since I was in the neighborhood, I thought I'd drop by and tell you about it, because if I sent you a postcard, well, you wouldn't know about it till in the morning.
Well, I sure do want to thank you, Pat.
This special is, with every 10 gallons of gas, you get a lube job for half price. Hi, Nancy.
Hello, Pat.
What do you think of the idea?
Yeah, what idea is that?
This special I'm having on lube jobs.
Oh, the special. Yeah, well, that's a fine idea. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you think so, because I think I'll get a lot of gas customers this way. This lube job that I'm giving, let me tell you about it. A lot of places, they use this cheap, sloppy, just no-good grease. And to my way of thinking, that just ain't right, because you got all them little bearings and little doodads in there, and it takes a good grease to keep them humming and running. Now, I remember one time Clem Collins come to me for a lube job. You remember Clem? He was a lanky fella that had the short wife and the 3 kids. There was Lulabelle and Elmira and the little baby Susie. Or was Elmira the baby?
Yeah, Pat.
No, it was Susie. She was a cute little dickens. I remember one time she was...
I don't mean to be interrupting you, but Nancy and me, we had this date, and it was kind of counting on being alone.
Alone? Oh, well, I didn't mean to intrude. I didn't have anything on my mind except this special on lube job. Sometimes I think it ain't right for a fellow just to have his mind on business all the time. I remember he had his mind on business.
Pat, me and Nancy, we got this date, you know.
Oh, yeah, well, I guess I better be leaving.
Yes, I guess you'd better be.
Yeah, well, I'll drop by for that special.
What special? On the lube. Oh, the lube job. Yeah, you do that.
Good night.
Good night. Now, just a darn minute. Now, Nancy, you got no right being with another man when we're going steady.
Well, I didn't think there was anything serious about us.
Serious? Well, we've been going together for 15 years.
I know, but...
But nothing. 15 years is a long time. And, well, you're the girl that I want to marry.
Is that a proposal?
Yes, that's a proposal.
I accept.
Ain't you want to say nothing? I think I said too much already.
Elmer! Hey, Elmer! I tried to call you this morning. Yeah, I've been looking all over for you. I got some news for you.
I'm through taking news from you.
No, but you'll be glad to hear this. Elmer, Nancy and Pat Clemens is going to get married after all the wedding's all set.
No.
Well, you don't look very happy about it. Well, Elmer, don't you see? This makes that story that you printed about him on the front page true.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You. There's an extra out in the street right now in big red letters. My retraction and apology for printing a wild, stupid rumor. You lingering.
Living like good folks should live, happy as kids with toys. They've got their troubles, but they got much more of the things in life that they had before. Together they share all the sorrows and joys of the family known as the real McCoys.
McCoys, starring Walter Brennan and Dick Crenna, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the real McCoys. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. That's Grandpappy Amos and the two-looking boys, his favorite grandson, Luke McCoy. Want you to meet Pepino, the family's hired hand. And that's old George, who lives next door, a friend and neighbor you met before. Together they share all the sorrows and joys of the family known as the real McCoys.
Well, I hate to do this to you, George, but I get you back in the corner.
You sure have. I guess I better back out.
Wait a minute, was that a king?
It wasn't two checkers playing piggyback.
Hello? Yeah, this is Luke McCoy. What do you mean this is my lucky day? What'd I do?
Who is it, Luke?
Some lady says if I answer a question right, I'm going to win a valuable prize.
Well, go ahead, Luke. About time a McCoy won something around here.
Go ahead, ma'am. What's the question? After whom was the Lincoln Tunnel named?
I know the Frank Tunnel once.
How about Abraham? They named a lot of stuff after him. It is? Well, good for me.
What'd you win, a tunnel?
Yes, ma'am. I'll be there tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Yeah, and thank you kindly. Yeah, goodbye now. What? How about that, Grandpa? I won 6 free dancing lessons at the Valley Dance Studio.
Go ahead, George, you move.
Grandpa, that's $2 apiece. That's $12 I won for nothing.
Luke, dancing's a plumb waste of time. Where's that going to get you with the girls?
The intermissions, Grandpa. To the intermissions.
Cut out that. You ain't got that good a memory.
Now, you take my right hand in your left. That's it. My, you have a very strong grip.
Well, I got that from milking cows. The other one's the same way.
Well, let's put that one around my waist. A little higher. And a little closer. No, tighter than that. I won't break. That's it. Now you've got it.
I have? Thank you, ma'am. What do we do next?
Well, now we're ready for lesson number 2.
Number 2? Well, what happened to lesson number 1?
You just had it.
But I ain't even moved my feet yet.
We're going to take care of that right now.
There. Now let's see how well we do together.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
Well, just dance. Remember lesson number 1.
1. Oh, yeah.
That's it. Now move in time with the music and I'll follow. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I just hope you got good, strong toes.
And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Glide, step, step. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Glide, step. Look, McCoy. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
What's the matter? Did I stomp on your toe?
Telling me you never took any lessons.
Oh, no, I never did. Honest. Just that number 1 there you learned me.
But you must have had some help. All that grace and rhythm.
Well, I guess I was just born with it.
I've got to share this with our manager. Mr. Bowen, may I see you for a moment?
Yes, Miss Webster?
Mr. Bowen, I'd like you to meet one of our new students, Mr. McCoy.
How do you do, Miss...
I'm the one who knew about the Lincoln Tunnel.
Oh, yes, he's one of our scholarship students. Good show.
Mr. Bowen, you must watch it. You've never seen anything like it. And Mr. McCoy claims he's never taken a lesson.
Well, I never did. No, honest. I never took a lesson in my life, except for plowing. I guess this dancing just sort of come to me natural.
Could you help me with the machine for a moment?
I'd be delighted. Excuse me. Hicksville?
Right out of the pea patch.
Right.
One wiggle and he'll fall off the vine.
Need any help?
Mike, if I can't handle Twinkle Toes alone, I'll go back to peddling uranium stocks.
Oh, there you go.
I believe this is our dinner, McCoy.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, ma'am.
Adele.
Adele. 1.
It's incredible. That's what it is, incredible. That arm and hip movements.
Mr. McCoy, have you ever had any contact with Fred Astaire?
Well, I've seen some of his old movies on the television. But to tell you the truth, I spend most of my time watching Ginger Rogers.
The power of the subconscious mind. Mr. McCoy, whether you know it or not, a lot of Fred Astaire has rubbed off on you.
Well, I declare. Say, you don't happen to have Cheek to Cheek or the karaoke on that machine, do you? Fred used to do them real good.
I think we've had enough for lesson number 2.
Well, then let's start number 3. I'm still raring to go.
Aren't you a little tired?
Oh, shucks, no, ma'am. Why, I can slop hogs for 12 hours a day and never feel it.
Mr. McCoy, in deference to Miss Webster, I think she should take a break. After all, the emotional experience of discovering new talents can be very wearing.
I'm sorry. I just wasn't thinking.
Why don't we go into the lounge and get your schedule for the future?
An excellent idea.
Well, Mr. McCoy, may I say that not one of our students has ever shown more promise.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bowen.
Forgive me, Fred.
George, where's Grandpa? I thought he was coming over here.
Oh, Flora had a couple of tickets for a flower show. So she dragged him along to help with the owns and the irons. Gee, how'd you make out with the dancing lessons?
Well, George, I was so good, they gave me all 6 lessons tonight.
No.
Yeah, not only that, I'm going back tomorrow night for some more.
Free?
Well, yeah, just about.
What's about?
Well, George, there's a girl down there named Adele that's so crazy about me. She give me a rate that's just unbelievable. As a matter of fact, if you got around the valley what she was charging me, well, she'd probably lose her job sure as shooting.
Who am I going to tell? Now, come on. What's it going to cost you?
Well, I promised I wouldn't say nothing about it, but maybe if I wrote it down.
$0.55. How can they say in business giving lessons for 55 cents?
Well, I told you. This Adele's crazy about me. It's just to cover the cost of the tax and needles.
Look, come on, game. You go back there tomorrow, they're going to charge you a lot more than that.
Oh, no, they won't, George. No, sir. I got it all wrote down in a contract. Look at there. Look. See? Right there.
55 cents. Yeah, that's what it says. 55 cents a lesson. Look, you get them over a barrel.
Yeah.
What's it say in the back here?
Adele told me that's just their standard contract form there.
Yeah, it says 55 cents here, too.
See, George? I got them coming and going.
Yeah, 55 cents a lesson. 6 times a week.
6 times a week? Well, I guess I'll get just that much quicker. It shouldn't take me more than 2 weeks to learn the mambo, the rumba, and the cha-cha-cha.
What you gonna be learning in 1983?
Huh?
That's what it says. 55 cents a lesson, 6 times a week for 20 years.
They didn't tell me nothing about no 20 years. Where does it say that?
Well, right there. Comes to over $3,500.
$3,500.
Payable in advance. Oh, but look, you don't have to worry. Like you say, she's crazy about you. She'll give you a cut rate. $3,000 even.
What a terrible mess. Where am I going to get $3,000?
I'd like to help you, look, but what can I do?
I can't let Grandpa find out. If you don't help me, I'm just going to have to tell him.
No, don't do that. Why, hearing him gloat for 20 years will be worse than the dancing lesson.
Well, then do something, George. I've always looked on you as my friend, my kind of away-from-home grandpa.
Well, now, let's see. What if I... No, that wouldn't do no good.
Well, it might.
Please, look, I'm spellbound. Let me see. What if I... Well, maybe I could... Or else I could... No. I got it. Look,
which one is it?
I know just what I'm going to do. Now, you stay right here till I bring back your contract. I'm going over to that dance studio, and I'm going to say to them, Mr. Bowen, I represent the city council. And we got a bundle of serious complaints about this here dancing studio.
I understand that. What kind of complaints?
Well, violation of Ordinance 432, Section 5, Paragraph A.
Mr. McMichael, I'm sure there's been a misunderstanding. Now, if you wait right here for a moment, I'll make arrangements to show you how our studio operates.
Well, you better do something, Charlie, or you're going to be leading a conga line at the county jail.
Right back. Miss Webster.
Just a moment, Mr. Bowen. That'll be all for a night, sweetie. Another year and you'll be perfect. See you tomorrow.
Honey, there's a guy in the lounge says he's inspector for the city council. If he is, I'm Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm.
Then throw him out.
No, not so fast, baby. This farmer looks like he's loaded.
Oh, well, loaded farmers are my department. Wheel him in.
Whatever you do, get him off my back. Oh, Mr. McMichael. Come in. Inspector? Inspector, this is our head instructress, Miss Adele Webster.
Howdy, ma'am.
How do you do, Mr. McMichael?
Mr. McMichael is dance inspector for the city council.
I can see why.
Why?
The way you walked. That graceful, rippling move. You've had a lot of experience with dancers, haven't you?
Well, I did win an honorable mention in one of them black bottom contests once. Mr. Bowen, what are you going to do about them violations of Paragraph A?
Mr. McMichael has had some complaints about our contracts and the lighting.
Yeah, and the dancing. They're dancing too close together.
Mr. McMichael, would you say this is too close?
Miss Webster, while I get a copy of the contracts, why don't you show Mr. McMichael you really do things around here, huh?
Suppose I give him lesson number 1.
Right. Then I'll see you later. In the lounge.
All right. You take my right hand in your left. You have a strong grip.
I got it from Indian wrestling. The other one's even stronger.
Well, let's put that one around my waist. A little higher. No, tighter than that. There.
my garter was loose.
George, how'd it go? George, what happened? Did you get the contract? Oh, well, good for you, George. I knew you could do it. George, wait a minute. This ain't my contract. This has got your name on it. Don't tell me they hooked you, too.
30 years. Look, I don't know what happened. 1 minute I'm talking Ordinance 432, Section 5, Paragraph A. And when I come to, Adele has me writing my name in a piece of paper.
Oh, we're in great shape. But now what are we going to do?
Well, what can we do? How can you fight people that underhanded and sneaky and conniving?
Well, there's only one way I know. We just got to find somebody else as sneaky, underhanded, and conniving.
Yeah, and how can you find a critter like that this side of Sing Sing?
Couple of nutheads, that's what you are. You can understand George getting hornswoggled, but not you, Luke. You're a McCoy.
Oh,
doggone it. Look. You mash my Adam's apple anymore, and I'll be a spouting sidey. How do you expect me to dig you two suckers out of the trouble you're in? You strangled me before I even get into town.
30 years of dancing lessons.
Well, now, you better have a special clause in there that says you can do the last 10 in a wheelchair.
No, you don't rub it in.
Well, I must be heading for town.
Well, Grandpa, don't you think we ought to discuss your strategy before you go in?
I told him how to do it. Amos, you got to impress these people. Tell me you're the governor's special dance advisor.
Now, if you don't mind, I'll handle it my way. Inspector McMichael.
Well, Grandpa, you better watch out for that girl.
Yeah. Good luck. Oh, whilst I'm gone, you fellas don't answer that telephone now. Somebody might want to give you something else for nothing. $6,000 for dancing lessons. Here I go again.
Oh, that's all right, Mr. McCoy. I've gotten used to it.
Gee, Dale, I'm sorry. Was that your foot?
Yes. The flat part is the floor. Oh, Mr. McCoy. Are you sure you want to take dancing lessons?
Sure, I'm sure. Luke dances a whole lot better than I do, and you signed him up for 20 years.
I know, but...
And if he needs 20 years, I need 40.
We talk about this a little later. I'd like to change my shoes and get another shot of Novocaine.
Yeah, well, you just go ahead and do that, Adele, and I'll sort of go out in the lounge and socialize with the other new students.
That'll be fine, Mr. McCoy. I'll be back in a moment.
Well, here we go. Oh, hi, folks. Hey, you must be the new crop of learners. That's right. Come in to get your free lessons, did you?
Yeah, we sure did.
I knew who discovered the Hudson River.
Now, how'd you happen to know a thing like that?
Well, that's nothing. I knew where Lincoln made his Gettysburg Address.
My, they sure used Lincoln a lot around here. You must have been a pretty good dancer. Hey, you're a real bright group, I can see that. It's going to be real pleasurable to spend the next couple of years with you. Yes.
Only get 6 lessons.
Oh, them's the free ones. They're nothing. The fun comes after, well, when you start paying. Well, that's when you really learn, though.
You mean you gotta pay?
Well, just the bare expenses. And it's over a 20-year period. And that only comes to $3,000. $1,000? Well, now. Don't leave that bother you. These folks around here is real considerate. You take me, for instance. You see, I didn't have no money, and they was kind enough to take my farm and my car in payment. Ah, well, sure, but the way I figure, I didn't need it. To work out my contract, I got to spend the rest of my time around here anyway.
Mister, how long have you been taking lessons?
Well, let's see now. War was over in 45, and I come out here from West Virginia. Oh, I'd say about 15 years.
15 years?
I won't dance with him again. I'd rather go 3 rounds with Archie Moore.
All right, then. I'll give him to one of the other girls.
She'll quit. He isn't a dancer. He's a bulldozer with shoes.
Honey, he can't be that bad.
You haven't seen him. He handles he's docking a ferry boat.
Okay, you can't win them all. I'll tell him we're full up.
Well, why wouldn't you want to sign a contract? It's just to protect you.
Protect you from what?
You still have to pay the $3,000.
Yeah, but you get $3,500 worth of lessons. And you don't have to give them the money all at once. They'll either make it in 2 easy payments.
I'm getting out of here. No, sir. Hey, wait a minute. Where's everybody going?
6 free lessons. Who can afford them?
Now, you're not getting in my house.
Gentlemen, please.
Mr. McCoy, do you realize you just chased 4 perfectly good prospects away from here? What are you trying to do?
He's trying to ruin us, that's what.
Why, Mr. Dale's want no fault of mine. It's just that them folks don't know a bargain when they see it. Like my grandson, Luke.
Why, do me a favor. Will you go away?
Ain't you interested in my money? Well, I figure on being here every night, taking lessons and talking to people and raving to everybody about them cut-rate bargain contracts. Hey, by the way, where's mine?
Now, look.
Mike, just a second. Mr. McCoy, you're a very sharp cookie.
And I dance just like Fred Astaire. I know.
If we give you back your grandson's contract, then will you leave?
Permanently?
Well, you're on the right track. Keep on talking. I feel an odd coming on.
What more could you want?
Well, I got an inspector friend. He's an undercover man for the city council.
Bill, get him both contracts.
See, Mr. Bowen, you're not real fast. You're a smart fella. You're real smart.
Here. I hope this makes you very happy.
Well, now, thank you, Mr. Dale. It was nice doing business with you. Now, if you ever need any plowing lessons, drop around. I'll give you the special rate.
McCoys, starring Walter Brennan and Dick Crenna, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the real McCoys. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. That's Grandpappy Amos and the good-looking boys, his favorite grandson, Luke McCoy. Want you to meet Pepino, the family's hired hand. And that's old George who lives next door, a friend and neighbor you met before. Together they share all the sorrows and joys of the family known as the real McCoys.
That is a darling shirt, Luke. I'm glad I helped you pick it out. It makes you look like what you really are, a farm executive.
Well, thanks, Eloise. It does kind of match the vegetables. She's back once again?
Yeah. Yellow Rose of Texas spreading the sweetness around again.
That's 3 times today. She's going to be a pest.
Yeah. Just 2 girls down bad, there ain't no spray for her particular kind.
I can't wait for Texas with me and meet my daddy. I know he'll take a shine to you. Daddy's fixing to get us a new manager any day now. He doesn't know it yet, but he's going to pick you. Signs of love. Isn't that exciting?
Now, to get back that little trip to Texas.
Now, Luke, don't argue. Someone's got to get you out of this rut, and I'm going to do it.
Well, don't I have nothing to say about it?
Not a thing. It's all settled.
Yeah, but...
Now, Luke, I got to get back to my Aunt Martha's. See you on my way down. Bye.
Bye. Oh, hi, Grandpa. How do you like my new shirt?
Oh, Lukey, you look just darling.
Hold on.
Farm executive. Next thing you know, I'll kind of have to be calling you for an appointment to get a shit milked.
There ain't no call to get all sizzled up, Grandpa. Eloise just
Happens to be a nice girl that's been knocked senseless by a whole mess of McCoy charm.
McCoy charm. Look, that girl ain't for you. She's a bossy type. And us McCoys has never been bossed by women.
Your umpy's right. Well, now, that's kind of an old-fashioned way to look. Don't you believe in equal rights for women?
Sure, I figure one woman's got just as much rights as another. But when there's a man around, well, he should be boss. Right, Pepini?
All right, Senor Alpha. Not that I have anything against women. If there has to be another sex, I'm glad it's them.
Well, I ain't decided yet about Texas. But when I do, I'll make up my own mind, Grandpa.
She's going to sneak up on that trusting, ignorant boy and clobber him. Hey, Cooper, you get a field all debugged, did you?
Well, I flew over pretty low. I figure those I didn't get with the spray, I scared to death. Well, here's the bad news.
Yeah. Need parts?
That I am.
Where you heading next?
Well, I got a fruit contract up in Joseph, Oregon. But it doesn't start for another week, so I've got a little time to kill. Trouble is, I can't kill it the way I'd like to because I'm broke. I'm still in hock on my plane.
Are you a single man, Senor Cooper?
Yep. I figure no one girl deserves all of me.
Well, now imagine that, Senor Alpha. A young, handsome, devil-may-care daredevil, and he's not married.
Well. Buzz, I'll bet you're just the kind of a man that the women can't resist.
Oh, they can resist me, all right. I just don't seem to want to try.
Well, I was just kind of thinking, since you got a little loose time between jobs, why don't you just stick around here for a spell? We got plenty of room.
Well, thanks, but I don't think this is exactly my... It's very kind of you, Mr. McCoy, but very kind. But I really ought to... I don't want to punch out. Hey, any relation of yours?
Oh, yeah. That's my grandson, Luke.
I meant the girl.
Oh, you mean it? Puny, scrawny little thing?
Oh, man, you must be looking at her from a different angle.
Well, I guess some might passable looking. But poor girl, she's got a problem. A terrible problem.
Problem?
Too much money.
Well, that's a very interesting problem.
You can't get yourself a man. Now, what fellow would want to marry up with a girl whose daddy gives her so much money he wouldn't have time to work? He has to use practically all his time trying to spend it.
You might just find someone willing to make the sacrifice.
It ain't easy. Daddy's from Texas, he makes money so fast that the fella could just wear himself out trying to help her get rid of it all.
Mr. McCoy, if half of what you say is true, you've got yourself a house guest.
Oh, Miss Kimball, I'd like for you to meet Buzz Cooper, our harum-scarum crop duster who's been trimming off the tops of our trees.
Oh, Cooper, I've been admiring you from the ground.
Thank you. I'm glad I came down to give you a better view. But there's really nothing to my head chopping.
Oh, sure, it's just a job.
Yeah, so is steeplejacking and lion taming. Why, every second this hero is up among them clouds, he's just gazing in the frightening jaws of death. Buzz is going to be our guest for a few days. Now, ain't that wonderful, Luke?
I'll say.
Well, I think it's naturally exciting to meet you, Buzz. I'm sure you must have had many interesting experiences.
Well, there was that time when I was sitting around in one of those new jets at 40,000 feet over the Yalu River when suddenly 8 MiG-15s came at me.
That guy's got a lot of nerve.
Congratulations, Senor Grandpa.
Well, I couldn't see that a third plane splashed into the yellow sea because number 4 and number 5 were coming at me.
Oh, my goodness, what did you do?
Well, what could I do? I was heading for a mountain at terminal velocity. Pieces of the plane were coming off. The control surfaces went. What do you got there, Luke?
Oh, horseshoes. Did you ever play the game?
Well, don't you try to throw them around that stake, and that's what you call a dinger?
A ringer.
Luke's very good at horseshoes.
Well, I ain't no world beater. Would you like to try a game, Buzz?
Well, I know it wouldn't Wouldn't be any fun for you, Luke.
Oh, well, that's all right. Try horseshoe for size.
I'd like to see how you do it. You shoot first.
Pitch. That's what you call it. Pitch. Yeah, well, back to the steak.
Good, Luke.
You see, that's what you call a leaner because it's lean.
Oh, I got it. I mean, you just throw it? Do you mind? Excuse me, Eloise. Now, those are what I call dingers.
Eloise, didn't he say that he...
But you have played before.
Well, like Luke, I ain't no world beater. I was only my junior state champion.
Luke, how about going for a drive? It's just the two of us.
You and me? Oh, well, I'd just love to.
What about me? What did I do wrong? All I did was win.
Congratulations. You won the horseshoe.
I hope they fit you.
Boy, I've been thinking maybe I ought to just crank up that flying machine and take off.
And leave that sweet little rich girl there on the ground?
Yeah. Mr. McCoy.
Yeah?
I got to I always figured that someday I'd have to lose at something. But I never thought it'd be at girls.
Maybe she ain't seen the best side of you yet.
I thought all my sides were best.
I mean, you've been competing with Luke on the ground now. Why don't you just get him up in that there plane of yours?
What do you mean?
Well, the eagle and the rooster on the ground is even, you see. But up there in the air, why, a eagle has got an advantage.
Enjoy the trip, Luke? Come on, big boy. Let's get out of there. Oh, easy. But, Eloise, let me
Oh, hush. Poor Luke. Well, just a little bit further, Luke.
Eloise,
Now, here, and don't you move. I'll be right back with a nice gold compress.
Ain't you ashamed? Ain't you mortal ashamed?
Why should I be?
You're a disgrace to all us McCoys.
Well, now, Grandpa, I don't see it that way at all. I'm deep in the heart of that little Texas gal, ain't I? A McCoy always wins one way or the other.
What about your self-respect?
I ain't got none. No, sir. As long as I can win by losing, I'm going to go right on losing.
Imagine that girl turning me me down. Me, Buzz Cooper, the girl.
Well, that's because you made the mistake of taking Luke up in that plane and beating him at everything. I could have told you that's no way to handle it.
Yeah, but it was your idea. You said... Okay, how am I supposed to handle it?
Well, the only way you can win that girl is by losing.
Losing?
Sure. Some women is like that, you see. They're kind of the bossy type. And she don't want a man who might stand up to her. So you win her by falling down.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Oh, no. I got my pride.
And her daddy's probably got a couple of million.
Well, I'll give it a whirl. But it's not going to be easy for a natural-born winner like me.
Sure ain't, boy. Sure ain't.
My goodness, Buzz. That was a lot, wasn't it?
Okay, Buster. So you want to play?
Luke, I do declare you're showing off.
Uh-oh. My head. The sun. Looks like you got me beat, Luke. You win.
Oh, no, don't. No, I can't.
The sun, it's too much for me. It's been that way ever since I was uranium prospecting in the Superstition Mountains.
Oh, for goodness sakes, get in the barn and out of the sun.
Oh, let me give you a hand. Let me give you a hand. Yeah. No. Oh, there it goes. There it goes again. Honey. Happens every time I try to help someone.
Luke!
Oh, yeah. Eloise! My head! Oh, my knee! My head!
Oh, dear!
Head. Oh, such a bad... yeah. It's no use, Senor Grandpa. Senor Buzz is just learning how to lose. And Senor Luke is already a champion.
There's a winner in every McCoy. I just gotta dig deep enough to get it out.
Oh, here, I'll get you this box over here. Oh, Luke, I'm afraid you'll have to get it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I like to help others even when I'm suffering myself.
Hey, watch what you're doing with that, Charlie.
Oh, excuse me.
Here.
Hey!
Sorry, Buster.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh, that hurt, Buzz. That hurt. You shouldn't. He's a little mad now. Now I gotta get him riled up enough to let the real McCoy come out.
I feel better now, Eloise.
All right. That does it. I'm getting mighty sick of you and your big fat stories. Come on, hero. Come on. I'm going to cut you down to natural size.
All right, come on, farmer boy. Hurt me. Come on, make me cry.
Hey, now, boys, wait a minute.
Get out of the way, Eloise. This is going to be a bloody mess.
Eloise, make him stop hurting me over bruises.
All right, hero. Say uncle. Uncle.
Stop them! Stop them! They're going to hurt each other.
No, sir, Luke ain't even begun to fight. You better start shooting.
All right, Buster.
Come on, big boy.
That didn't mean a trick. Buzz! 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 Buzz!
business. Now, please go away.
Give up, farmer boy.
Don't do it. Luke, boy, no McCoy ever lost a wrestling match humor style.
Yeah, tell me about it later, Gramp.
I said, can't give up, boy, you're winning.
Thanks.
I'll show you how. You got him in a perfect spot now to get in the smoky corner shortly. Leave him have it, boy, leave him have it.
Which one are you first?
Oh, put him down, Lou. Put him down.
Eloise!
Oh, you poor darling. Oh, what he's done.
You've done it just perfect, son.
Speaking for all of McCoys.
Oh.
It was a hard fight. Eloise! Eloise, wait! Don't go! Eloise!
Oh, don't you talk to me. I don't ever want to hear another word from you.
Goodbye, Buzz. It was a pleasure beating you. I want to wish you and Eloise everything you got coming to you. Poor Buzz. He just didn't know that the man in the McCoy is bound to come out.
There he goes, poor fella. Pitiful, just pitiful. He's stuck with $1 million.
The jam!
Well, it's real nice now that that yellow rose of Texas is gone. I don't have to take orders from anybody. Except everybody who's here. Yeah, and I don't have to take orders from anybody that's here. Except Grandpa.
Now, Luke, if you'd have listened to me in the first place, you'd have known that Eloise wanted the girl for you.
Yeah, you were right, Grandpa. I guess I just didn't like the idea of you trying to run my life for me.
Well, now, Luke, my boy, there's only one reason I ever interferes. I'm just trying to keep you from making the mistakes that I might have made when I was your age. If I hadn't been a whole lot smarter than you.
Living like good folks should live, happy as kids, baby. They've got their troubles, but they got much more of the things in life that they had before. Together they share all the sorrows and joys of the family known as the real McCoys.
McCoys, starring Walter Brennan and Dick Crenna, created by Irving Pinkett.
Want you to meet the family known as the real McCoys. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. That's Grandpappy Ames and the two-looking boys, his favorite grandson, Louis McCoy. Want you to meet Pepino, the family's hired hand. And that's old George who lives next door, a friend and neighbor you met before. Together they share all the sorrows and joys of the family known as the real McCoys.
Luke, them the best goddamn chitlins you ever made. The best what? Chitlins. They're real crisp and smoky.
Grandpa, them ain't chitlins. Them's grits.
Grits? Doggone you, Luke. What did you have to go and tell me for?
Huh?
Well, when they was chitlins, they was good chitlins, but grits.
Well, now, Grandpa, they ain't that bad, no matter what they turned out to be.
If you had the least mite of respect for your old grandpa, well, you'd go out and get yourself married.
Oh, now, what? Now, let's not start that again. Why does it always have to be me? If you want a $2 cook, why don't you go out and get married?
Well, now you're talking plumb foolish. Who'd marry an old coot like me?
Senor McMichael's sister?
Nobody asked you. Go on out the barn and do your chores.
I don't feel like going to the barn, Senor Grandpa. It's very lonesome. Well, if you're so lonesome, why don't you get married? Me? Sure. You know lots of beautiful girls
who can cook.
Mexican girls make wonderful wives, wonderful mothers.
Wonderful cooks.
And just remember, I gotta go to the barn. It's nice and lonesome.
Hey, you know what the matter with you is? You're a coward.
Si, Senor Grandpa. What a happy one. Well, now you done it, Grandpa. You chased him out to the barn.
Yeah, well, we ought to move him at the hen house with the rest of the chickens.
Well, Grandpa, what about the dishes? It was his night to wash.
Oh, stack them out in the yard. Look, I'll squirt the hose on them in the morning.
No, I've been thinking. That ain't too sanitary.
Now, look, will you stop worrying? If your cooking ain't killed us, nothing will.
Come, please! Well, now what's the matter?
Say, maybe them grits was deadly than I thought.
Vamos pronto! What's wrong, Pepino?
What's all the hooping and hollering for?
You remember the Johansson cow?
You mean Rosebud?
See, he's in the court. He? See? Not he, she. See, she.
God damn it, while you two's he and she and Rosebud's a chomping chewing. Get out of there, you wall-eyed galoot! That you blood-bellied mooches! Yeah.
Vamos, vaca, vamos! Grandpa, how do you suppose she got in here?
Never mind that. Let's start supposing how we're going to get her out. You knuckle-headed mule.
Well, now, Grandpa, you ain't going to get no place confusing her. Let me try. You can confuse her better, Senor Grandpa?
Well, go ahead, Luke. All she needs is a little coaxing.
Come on now. Come on, Rosebud. Now, come on, girl. It's time for you to go home. Come on, sweetheart. Come on, Rosebud. What's the matter? You deep or something?
Easy, boy. Easy now. Cows is delicate critters. You got to treat them tender and gentle like. Here, let me show you. Come on, get out of there now. Come on.
That's tender and gentle?
Well, first you got to get their attention.
Let's all try to pull together now. Come on, come on.
Okay, grab on, Pepino.
Come on now. Let's go. Vamos, vaca, no seas testaruda, hombre, porque pasó. Boy, this is a stubborn cow.
Feels to me like she done took root.
Would never happen if Senor Johansson was still alive.
Yeah, wouldn't have happened if his hired man acted alive.
Yeah, you're right, Grandpa. Frank, you sure letting that Johansson place go to pot.
Yeah, well, we ain't getting nowhere up here. Leave us try the other end.
Well, what's the difference? If one end moves, the other end goes with it.
You just pick up your corner and shove.
¿Cómo está de pesada la... This is one heavy cow. You think she'll be lighter if we milk her first? Oh, she ain't gonna move.
She'll move all right. Hey, Pepino, what'd you do with that blasting powder?
Oh, Grandpa, why don't we just call the Johansson place and tell Frank to come over and get her? You mean one cow is smarter than three men? No. I, Pepino Garcia, will never admit I'm not as smart as one-third of a cow. Never.
All right, if that's the way you feel about it, let me see you move your one-third out.
Okay, I will.
¡Causada, arránquese! ¡Causada!
Come on, you stupid cow! Well, ole, ole!
She ought to be rid out of town on a rail.
You're right, Grandpa. We never had no trouble like this when Mr. Johansson was alive.
Oh, even cows loose run around busting down people's fences and tromping on the cornfields. Come on, open up, answer the door.
Hey, what if the new owner's here? I heard Johansson's heir is coming out from Ohio.
Then I'll tell him a thing or two. Them Eastern dudes has got to be straightened out before they give the whole West a bad name.
I'm sorry I took so long. I was busy in the kitchen. Is there something I can do for you, gentlemen?
There sure is. Is the man of the house around?
He certainly is. Greg, there's someone here to see you. Hi. This is my son, Greg. I'm Louise Howard.
You the new owner here?
Yes, Mr. Johansson was my uncle.
And this here is the man of the house?
That's right.
Well, we're the McCoys. I'm Mrs. and my grandson, Luke. That's our farm down the road a piece.
Look, they got Rosebud. Mr. McCoy, is that our cow?
It sure is, and that's just the reason we're here. Now, Miss Howard.
Yes?
You tell her, Luke.
Well, Miss Howard, you being an Eastern female, you're probably new to this country life, but one of the first rules of running a farm is that you got to keep your personal property on your personal property.
Oh, please come in. I've got something on the stove. You were saying, Mr. McCoy?
Well, I was saying, Miss Howard, that it'd be a right fine idea if you was to keep your cow out of our cornfield. That's what I was saying.
Well, I'm sorry. I'll speak to Frank about it in the morning.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to do a whole lot more than speak to your hired man. This is your place now. You're going to have to take on the whole responsibility just like your uncle did.
Mr. McCoy, I said I'd take care of it.
Like the fellow said, Miss Howard, good fences make good neighbors. If your fence is busted, your chances in a popularity contest are mighty slim.
Mr. McCoy,
Never mind the Mr. McCoy. Just get Frank to mend your fences so that your livestock stays where it belongs. Well, that's all I got to say. How about you, Grandpa? You want to add something? Say something?
Oh, I sure do. It's been really nice meeting you, Miss Howard, and I sure enjoyed the lemon pie.
Did you get it back all right, Senor Ramba?
Pepini, she was beautiful.
Beautiful. Come here, cow is a cow.
Not a Rosebud, you knothead, the new owner.
Oh, he's here?
Not he, she.
Ah, she.
Now, don't start that again. Miss Howard is a beautiful young widow lady with a cute little young'un. You know, Pepini, she could be the end of our eating troubles.
You mean you would marry Senor Luke off with a girl you don't even know?
Who said anything about getting married? But it don't hurt none to be neighborly with a good-looking gal, especially if she's a good cook.
I see. Already they're becoming good friends, huh?
Well, not exactly. As a matter of fact, they hate each other.
But maybe I lost something in the translation. But if they hate each other, how will they ever get to be friends?
You just leave that to Amos McCoy.
Where's this stuff, Pino?
That? That's Tortilla Garcia. It's been in my family for centuries. How'd you like it, Senor Grandpa?
Well, being a kindly man, let me put it this way. It's just plain rotten.
Yeah, I know. I come from a long line of miserable cooks.
You know, if somebody around here took a notion to get married, here we go again. It's better than dying of Tortilla Garcia, ain't it?
No, just a second, Senor Grandpa. In my whole family, nobody ever died from Tortilla Garcia.
You sure? Oh, no.
Now, what do you suppose that is?
Couldn't be Rosebud. Why, Senor Luke took her back yesterday.
What do you mean yesterday? I took her back 4 times this week already. Appears to me like they're just letting her out of purpose.
Where you go now, Luke?
I'm going over there and I'm going to give that Louise a real good piece of my mind.
Oh, Louise, huh?
Oh, what about Rosebud?
Get your bullfighting sack. I'll get the truck.
By golly, Woggs is working.
You think so?
Sure, I think so. You heard what he said, didn't you?
See? He hates her worse than ever.
Yeah, but now he hates her by her first name.
I just don't understand it.
Well, that cow's getting out some way. She ain't just flying over to our place.
Frank?
It beats me, Mrs. Howard. Well, I must have gone over that fence 50 times this week, and there ain't a hole in it big enough for a lizard to squirm through.
Maybe she jumps over.
Is that possible?
Oh, well, now you're being plain ridiculous. There never was a cow that could jump over a 4-foot fence.
One jumped over the moon.
Well, yeah, that was a different kind of a cow, Greg.
What?
That one come from Cape Canaveral. Cows like Rosebud, they just can't get up that high.
Well, then she's a crawling under.
What do you mean?
Well, there's tracks on both sides, and that fence is tight as a drum.
Maybe there's a desperate band of cow nappers.
Or maybe just one cow napper.
Well, then just what kind of a remark is that?
Well, that cow isn't getting out by herself.
In other words, you think that I'm letting that cow out just so I can come over here and argue with you?
I didn't say that.
No, but the look in your eyes said it.
Well, something strange is going on.
You're darn right. And I'm going to put a stop to it.
What are you doing?
Something funny's going on, and I'm going to find out just who's responsible for it, you or me. Hello? Give me the sheriff.
Come on, doggone you. What's the matter with you, Peppini? You losing your temper?
I don't know. Maybe somebody told her she's a cow and not a bull. I think this time maybe we should have brought some corn.
Yeah, well, I got news for you. On account of her, we're fresh out. She ain't a cow, she's a goddamn plague of locusts. Now, come on, you walking corn crib.
Grandpa, I got the feeling we're going to get in big trouble if we keep stealing this cow.
What do you mean stealing? We ain't stealing no cow. Luke all the specials are back, don't he?
See, but how long are we going to keep on stealing her?
Till Luke starts going over there without the cow. That's how long. Now, come on, give me a hand. Now the both of us get back here and shove. Come on, you fool cow. Go, cow, go.
Oh, it's no use, Senor Grandpa. Why don't we give up?
Give up? You mean you're going to give up and admit that this cow's smarter than you?
Smarter than the both of us. At 2 o'clock in the morning, she don't get out of her warm bed and go into the fields and push people.
This is no time to give up. Why, we're so close to that turkey and that lemon pie that my taste buds is itching.
Senor Grandpa, look!
God, come on, leave the cat up the fence.
Senor Grandpa, you know I love to sleep as much as I love to eat. How many more times do we have to do this?
Well, this ought to do it, Peppino. You heard Luke call her Louise. Well, you know, I got a sneaking feeling that we've snuck off with the last cow.
All right, hit the light. Hold it, you two. Stay right where you are.
Is that you, Sheriff?
Well, I'll be. Amos McCoy.
Howdy, Tom. What are you doing up this time of night?
20 years I've been a lawman in the San Fernando Valley, and I finally caught me a rustler.
I told you.
All right, Amos. Let's start all over again.
I've been telling you for 2 hours we didn't steal no cow. We was just borrowing it.
But why? Why would anybody want to borrow a cow?
So we could take it back. Done it, I never seen two such stubborn knotheads.
Me too. Stubborn knotheads.
Stay out of this.
Okay. Senor Grandpa, see you back at the farm.
Where are you going?
Well, he told me to stay out.
Stay out, but stay put.
Stay out, stay put. Estos gringos están más locos. What a crazy language.
Quiet. Amos, you're an intelligent man. Now, how can you expect anybody to believe a ridiculous story like that?
I believe it.
There ain't nothing ridiculous about it, ain't all. I never stole nothing in my life. And I ain't to start with no goddamn cow.
But, Amos, we caught you red-handed not more than 2 hours ago. We saw you open the fence. We saw the cow come through. We saw you close up the fence again. You've never denied that.
Of course not. How else could we get the critter over to our farm?
But why?
Tom, you're missing the whole point. If we was to leave her where she was, how was you going to bring her back?
He's got you there, Sheriff.
Stay out of it.
Stay out, but stay put.
Look, I'll handle this.
I was just trying to help.
Oh, yes. You've been a big help. And don't forget you're in this just as deep as he is. Peppino, have you ever been arrested?
Me? See?
Uh-huh. When?
Well, don't you remember? At 2 o'clock when we were stealing the cow.
Peppino.
When we were barreling the cow. Before, Peppino. Have you ever been arrested before? No, senor, never.
You've never had a record?
Oh, sí, I have a record. I have La Cucaracha, La Paloma, y Acapulco Twist.
All right, Amos. I'll try again. Now, I'm perfectly willing to believe this whole ridiculous story if you could just give me one good reason why anybody in their right mind would take a cow just so they could bring her back.
Well, that's easy. If you took a cow and didn't bring him back, then that'd be stealing.
Okay, Steve. Book him.
Wait. Senor Grandpa, there's no other way. You might as well tell him about Senor Luke.
You just sit there and hash up now.
What about Luke?
You never mind. He didn't have nothing to do with it.
Well, he sure does. He's the one who made the complaint.
What do you do a thing like that for?
I guess he was just protecting Miss Howard.
No. See that, Peppino? He was protecting Miss Howard.
Now I'm happy we're still the cow.
So, finally admit it.
Of course not. The whole thing was just a scheme that was cooked up to get Luke and Miss Howard together.
And you thought that was important enough to rustle a cow?
Tom, you ain't never had to face Tortilla Garcia.
Luke, after spending 2 hours with your grandfather, anybody'd be confused. It doesn't make sense, but the best I can figure is that Amos was playing yo-yo with the cow just to get you two together.
He what?
Well, he'd steal the cow and you'd take her back. That meddling old coot.
Luke McCoy, don't you dare talk about your grandfather that way. He's a very sweet man. Besides, I'm glad he did it.
You are? Well, I was kind of hoping you were.
I don't like to interrupt, but it is your cow, Miss Howard. Now, what would you like me to do with that rustling Cupid out there?
Can't you just turn him loose?
Well, on behalf of the cows who supported me in the last election, I don't like a wild, dangerous character like that running around loose. Luke, suppose I just remand them to your custody.
Yeah, well, you can trust me, Sheriff. Buck McCoy will never ride again.
Okay, Steve, bring in the prisoners.
Oh, morning, folks. What are you doing up so early?
Come on, Grandpa, let's go home. We got a little talking to do.
What about? You didn't do nothing? Did we, Sheriff?
Amos, try to stay out of trouble, will you?
Trouble? Why, we're as innocent as a couple of new fall colts. Evening, Peppino.
Si, senor. I was thought he was stole the cow. Barrel. Barrel. Louise, I'd like to apologize to my grandson.
Now, never mind, Luke. I can do my own apologizing. Been doing it all my life. You see, Miss Howard, I'm getting to be an old man, and, well, maybe I started worrying too much about my victuals. I should have known that if it was right for two people to get together, that they'd take care of it themselves, and they wouldn't need no shelter man or beast.
Well, I'm sure you meant well.
I sure did. I just want you to know this. If there's anything I could do to make up for my meddling, why, all you gotta do is ask.
Do you mean that?
Yes, ma'am, I sure do. You just name it.
All right. How would you like to babysit with Greg on Saturday night?
Oh, you going out somewhere, are you?
She sure is. She's going to the movies with me.
She is? Well, I'll be gone done. That's the best pot roast you ever made. How'd you do it?
Well, it wasn't easy, Grandpa. See, there's a secret to making a good pot roast. The first thing you gotta do, you gotta find yourself a good butcher shop with a butcher you can trust.
Mm-hmm.
And then you pick yourself out a cut of meat that's as tender and nice as a pussycat's purr.
Mm-hmm.
And you take that piece of meat nice and light and gentle, and you put it in a great big iron pot. Then you take the whole thing over to Louise and let her cook it.
Want you to meet the family known as the real McCoys. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. That's Grandpappy Amos and the two-looking boys, his favorite grandson, Luke McCoy. Want you to meet Pepino, the family's hired hand. And that's old George who lives next door, a friend and neighbor you met before. Together they share all the sorrows and joys of the family known as the real McCoys.
Mr. McCoy, with your Luke being such a good friend of Mrs. Howard's, how come you're stealing her oranges?
Are you going to start that again? Week in and week out, the same stupid argument. When are you going to get it through that square head of yours that the oranges on this side of the fence belongs to me?
But it ain't your tree. It's growing on this side of the fence, and you ain't got no right picking any of that fruit.
Frank, you better get them specs of yours fixed. You know, you never see me pick nothing. Now, all I ever done was give the branches just a little nudge.
I wouldn't say nothing if you took some just for eating, but selling them at a stand right next to ours.
Oh, now you're getting free enterprise, huh?
And then underselling us by 5 cents a pound.
Well, I got a low overhead.
You don't have any overhead.
Oh, no? Well, how about last year? Didn't I snap 2 rake handles on your goddamn tree?
Grandpa!
What is it, Luke?
Louise and Greg are here. They brought a little present for you.
Okay, I'll be right in. Will you stop worrying about the tree? If things keeps up the way I hope, why, this tree's going to end up in community property anyways. Sure would save a lot of wear and tear on rake handles around here, too. Well, howdy, Louise, Greg.
Hi, McCoy.
You've just been tidying up around your orange tree.
Sorry to cause you any trouble.
No trouble, ain't all. Just trying to be a good neighbor, that's all. Well, now, ain't that a gorgeous sight to behold? Thank you, Louise.
You're welcome.
Now, you wouldn't be hiding some of your delicious lemon filling in that there pie, would you?
Well, ain't 4 and 20 blackbirds.
Well, you leave it again.
Not right now, Mr. McCoy. You'll ruin your supper.
Well, I got news for you, Louise. With Pepina cooking around here, our supper comes ruined.
Grandpa, Louise has got a little problem. Do you know anybody that could help Frank pick their tomato crop?
Frank? Why, we wouldn't need no help if he didn't spend so goddamn much time doing border patrol.
No, seriously, Mr. McCoy, it's just too much work for one man.
Oh, not for one good man.
Excuse me, everybody. Senor Luke, I think the incubator is too cold.
Oh, God darn it, Luke. That thermostat's stuck again. You better go take a look at it, huh?
Okay, Grandpa.
Why don't you go along with him, Louise? You get some mighty cute chicks out
I'd
there.
love to.
Where you going, Greg?
Off to see the chicks.
Oh, well, you've seen them a dozen times. You ain't seen them once yet.
Why can't I see them again?
Greg, in Mexico, the chickens have a saying, no seas entrometido.
What does that mean?
That means 2's company and 3's a crowd, and you stay out of the hen house.
But I have to go. I'm their godfather.
Greg! God darn it, I ain't never going to get them 2 together. Help yourself to a piece of pie.
No, thanks. I already have one. Magnifico. That Senora Howard is one fine cook.
She's a mighty fine girl, too. And what's Luke doing about it? Nothing.
Senor Rampa, in Mexico we have a saying. You cannot make a horse drink water. And you cannot make a man fall in love.
Yeah, well, we got a few cents of our own. For instance, love is like a revolving door. You get a hit with it if you give it a little shove.
We don't say that in Mexico.
Hey, wait a minute. Maybe that's all they need. A little shove. If I can get them together every day for a couple of weeks.
In a revolving door?
Don't worry about where. It's how. Oh, howdy.
Mr. McCoy, they're adorable.
Yeah, well, you wait a couple of months and they ain't only going to be adorable, they're going to be delicious.
You mean you're gonna lose?
Oh, don't you worry, Greg. Grandpa's just teasing you. Why, we wouldn't dream of eating none of your godchildren. Hey, Pepino, let's go into town and get a new connection for this thermostat.
Can I go too, Luke?
Why, sure, Greg. Come along.
It's a good thing that I noticed, huh, Senor Luke?
It sure was. Otherwise, them chicks would have started out in cold storage.
You know, Louise, I'm ashamed of you.
What?
Well, you've been out here long enough to know what a good neighbor is.
What have I done?
Well, it ain't what you've done. It's what you're aiming to do. Hiring another man to help Frank. Now, look, if you need somebody to pick tomatoes, what do you think neighbors is first?
But you have your own farm to take care of. I couldn't expect you to help.
Oh, now our crop is in every last bit of it. We got 3 growed, healthy men here, and 2 can handle everything fine for a couple of weeks. So one of us will be over in the morning to start picking.
All right, then. Which one of you shall I expect?
Well, let's just say that'll be my little surprise.
No, sir. Not me. I ain't going to do it.
But look, I done give a word.
Well, I don't care what you give. I ain't going over there and work for Louise Howard.
But you wouldn't be working for her. You'd just be helping her out like any good neighbor should oughta.
No, but I'd still be an employee. Grandpa, look what might happen if I was to take her to the picture show. Well, right in the middle of the picture, she's liable to lean over to me and whisper, Luke, how many tomatoes did you pick today? Or if I was to take her hand, she's liable to just shake it loose and say, oh, and careful, Luke. No, that's your picking hand.
You mean you're already up to the hand holding, Luke?
Yeah, that's just the way I want to keep it.
Well, nobody can say I didn't try. Pepina?
Yeah.
I give my word, so it looks like you've been elected.
Elected? What kind of a democracy you call that? I don't even accept the nomination.
Now, don't you start argufying with me. You're a working for me, and I'm a-lending you to Miss Howard.
That part I don't mind. But I'm a hired hand, senior grade. And I'm not going to go out and work for another hired hand. Well, it's a matter of principle.
You're going over to the house first thing in the morning, and that's a order.
Senor Grandpa, maybe you call this mutiny, but I'm not going to go work for Frank. Before I do that, I'd rather turn in my Social Security card and go back to Mexico and be a cactus picker. Anybody want more coffee?
Here, please. Okay. I know when I'm licked. But don't forget I give the McCoy word. Now, if neither one of you is going to work, the least you can do is go over to Miss Howard and get me out of it. Now, which ones are we going to be? I know what I'll say. I'll say, Louise, I'm going to lay all my cards on the table. I'm going to tell you the whole truth. No, coming from me, she never believed that. Maybe say something about the chicks. But that's a good idea. Louise, one of them little chicks done took himself down to the parks, and Luke's quarantined in the hen house. No, that's no good. That'd keep Luke from taking up with Louise for 2 whole weeks. Louise, you know, yesterday the most amazing thing happened. We planted some beans, and we used some of that instant growth fertilizer. And you won't believe this, but this morning we got the god-darnedest crop of beans. It's going to take the 3 of us 2 whole weeks to pick. I didn't even believe that wouldn't happen to Jack and the Beanstalk. And that was written in a book. I gotta think of something fast.
Hello, Mr. McCoy. I saw you coming up the walk. What a wonderful surprise.
Well, Louise, there's something I got to tell you.
Oh, let's not stand here in the doorway. Come on in.
Louise.
Now, before you say another word, I want you to try a piece of hot apple pie. I just cut it this minute.
Well, now, I ain't one to turn down a piece of hot apple pie.
You won't say no to a glass of milk.
No.
Sit down.
Thank you.
I hope this is to your liking, Mr. McCoy.
Thank you. When it's time for an apple to go, this is the way. Thank goodness. I never had no pie like this before.
And I've never had a neighbor like you.
Yeah, well, Louise, there's something I got to tell you.
And, you know, I'm not the only one who thinks so either. I've told everybody I know how kind and generous the McCoys have been, and they all agree. Who but Amos McCoy would leave his own farm and come to work for a neighbor just to savor the expense of having an extra man? Mr. McCoy, if I thanked you for the next 2 weeks, I couldn't tell you how grateful I am. Now, what was it you wanted to say?
take me to your tomatoes.
Now what did I do?
Frank, you're still doing it all wrong. See, you hold on to the stem with your left hand, and you give a yank with your right.
Why?
Well, because that way the pressure gets more equal-like, and, well, you don't have to squeeze so hard. No, Frank. Look. Before you pull the tomato, you give it a twist your wrist like that, see?
Now, look, Mr. McCoy.
And don't pile them so high, because you're mushing all them in the bottom.
Have I done anything right?
Well, you got the plants to growing out of doors. That took good thinking.
Mr. McCoy, we'll get this crop in a whole lot faster if you'll use your hands more and your mouth less.
Now, that's a fine way to speak to a neighbor, especially a good neighbor. Give up working on his own farm to come over here and help you.
All right, then help me.
Well, I am helping you. I'm giving you the benefit of a whole lifetime of tomato picking experience. Why, I was picking tomatoes before you was born.
Then how come I picked twice as many as you have?
Well, that's because you're a quick learner. Frank, before the old masters are through with you, you'll be picking tomatoes like an expert. Now, just stop the gabbing and get to work. Well, look at that. What Luke think he's doing?
Now where are you going?
You just keep on picking. I'll be back. Hey, what are you doing over there?
Oh, howdy, neighbor. How's the tomato crop?
Now, look, never mind the smart aleck. What's the idea of taking them oranges?
Well, I have to. We run out at the stand.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself stealing Louise's oranges.
Well, you was the one that told me it wasn't stealing. You've been doing that for years.
Now, don't confuse the issue. It ain't your tree, and you got no right picking the fruit off it.
Well, I don't understand what you're fussing about. It ain't your tree anyway.
Well, it's the same as mine. Don't forget, I'm working on this side of the fence now.
Well, do you mind if I was just to pick up some of the oranges that already come loose?
No, them's yours legal. But you better put up the price 10 cents a pound, or elsewise I'll have them fair trade fellas after you.
Okay, Grandpa. How are things coming over there?
It couldn't be better, Luke. You sure missed out on a good thing.
Yeah, could be. What time you coming to supper tonight? Peppino's fixing up one of them special dishes of his, that tortilla Garcia.
Yeah, well, you can have my share of the bicarbonate. The next 2 weeks I'm feasting. You know what we're having tonight?
No, what?
Roast beef, whipped potatoes, and chocolate fudge cake. A la mode.
In the middle of the week?
Mr. McCoy, what about these tomatoes?
Well, I'll be seen around, Luke.
Yeah, drop in anytime, neighbor.
Well, now, what's eating on you? I was just talking to one of the neighbors.
Yeah, you're pretty good at that. But these tomatoes ain't going to pick themselves, you know.
Well, Frank, you know you better get them lugs into barn.
What?
I said you better get them tomatoes into barn. You don't want the sun to get them, do you?
Mr. McCoy, let's get one thing straight right now. Who's giving the orders around here, you or me?
Well, you are. You running the farm. I just got stopped. I just volunteered to help out.
You don't know the first thing about how to work for somebody else.
And you don't know the first thing about running the farm.
I don't, huh? Well, I'll just tell Mrs. Howard about this.
Go ahead. You can count a Secretary of Agriculture for all I care. Poor fella, he ain't never going to get nowhere. Just can't get along with his hip.
Frank, you can't quit.
I already did. And I'm going to stay quit until you fire that tomato-picking genius.
But how can I fire him? He just offered to help out.
Mrs. Howard, you ain't never worked with a man like that. Why, he'd even tell a chicken that she was laying an egg from the wrong end.
Now, Frank, please.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but, well, I've been offered another job, you know, and if you ain't going to do nothing about him, well, I might just as well take it.
But we need you. I couldn't run the farm without you. Frank, I'll do something about Mr. McCoy, I promise. Just give me a little time.
Okay. I'll give you a couple of days. But I ain't going to stay on around here.
Where are you going?
I'm going to my cousin Oldfield in North Ridge. You can call me as soon as our good neighbor goes back to stealing oranges.
Frank wouldn't do that. Not with all them tomatoes to pick.
Luke, he's already gone, and he won't come back as long as your grandfather's there.
Well, then why don't you get rid of Grandpa? Why don't you just tell him to go on home?
I couldn't do that. I wouldn't hurt his feelings for the world.
Look, do you really want to get rid of Grandpa?
I didn't say that, but I'm afraid I'll have to.
Then, I'll tell you what you got to do. You got to change your way of cooking.
What's the matter with my cooking?
It's too darn good. Well, now, look, you keep feeding Grandpa roast beef and pie a la mode. He's going to stick with you through the tomato season, into potatoes, soybeans, string beans, and back to tomatoes again. You just got to cook rotten for a while.
Oh, Luke, that's cruel. I couldn't do that.
Well, I was just trying to help you.
And I think you did.
Well, with that Frank gone, I reckon as how I'll be eating for two tonight. So, Louise, why don't you save yourself a trip and pile on the seconds right now?
All right, Mr. McCoy.
Yeah. What is this? Crabgrass?
Of course not. That's watercress. It's just loaded with energy.
Why don't you have it run back to the stove and fetch me something to eat?
I read an article in the Farm Bulletin that had a whole list of energy foods. Hearts of dandelion, parsley and radish salad.
Crabgrass.
Reno, ain't there some way you can make that stuff taste like it's supposed to be yet?
I don't know you complain. Except that it tastes terrible. It's not bad. Maybe I should put more chili pepper.
I'll tell you what you ought to do. Next time you ought to try spraying it with some of that borate stuff.
That's what they used to put out forest fires.
Well?
Okay, I'll try it. Couldn't hurt it.
Well, hi, fellas.
Hi, Grandpa. You finished your supper ahead of us, huh? How was it?
Luke, you never seen nothing like it in all your life? When she sets her mind to it, there ain't nobody can dream up dishes like that there, Louise.
Did she give you roast beef, did she?
Yeah, in a manner of speaking. Put enough of it inside of a cow, it would get to be roast beef. I just sit down and spell. Keep you company. Well, Pepina, I see you still messing around with tortilla Garcias, huh?
See? It tastes awful, but it's what I cook the best.
You know, I think it needs just a mite more pepper. Taste is still coming through.
Well, next time I will put in more chili peppers.
That'll be just what it needs.
Grandpa, seeing as how you had such a good meal over at Louise's, how come you're still hungry?
Who's hungry? I just been learning that it's sinful to waste food, even this hogwash. Well, now that you fellas have finished your supper, guess you want to get started on your dishes. I'm going to set myself down, take a little nap.
Yeah, you do that, Grandpa. You, look mighty peaked.
Well, who wouldn't be? With that shiftless Frank gone, I've been doing the work for two. It's been a long, hard day. Yes, a long day.
Did you enjoy your breakfast, Mr. McCoy?
It was delicious. Downright delicious. You know, if I hadn't had so much of them dandelion hearts, I might have took seconds on the parsley and radish salad.
What, Frank?
What are you doing here?
I just come by to pick up my good suit. You want to go with me? Be sure that I do it right?
No need of getting sarcastic about it.
I wasn't getting sarcastic, but you're so good at picking everything.
Well, I don't pick tomatoes like I was mad at them.
Mr. McCoy.
As far as I know, you don't pick them at all. Leastways, you didn't while I was there.
Well, how could I? I was busy keeping you from wrecking the whole goddamn tomato crop. A pinching and a squeezing and a gouging. Well, you weren't picking tomatoes. You was picking ketchup.
Boy, please don't say any more.
Okay, then. It's all right. You take your side. You're a hired hand, and it serves me right for just pushing in where I wanted.
But all I said was...
No call for no hard feelings. So I'll just mosey on home and be a good neighbor on my own side of the fence. I'm sorry it didn't work out, Louise. I sure do hope that you make a good deal with them ketchup people. By golly, that done it.
How'd I do, Mr. McCoy?
You done fine. I don't know how I'm going to thank you.
When you called me up on the phone, you said something about money.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I sure did. You $2 wanted.
You said $5.
Must have been a bad connection. Well, it was worth it. There you are, Frank. I'm obliged to you.
That's all right, Mr. McCoy. I'm glad to be back. Thanks. Well, I got tomatoes to pick.
And Frank, he should have been an actor. He sure ain't no tomato picker. Wait till he sees what he gets for lunch.
McCoys, starring Walter Brennan and Dick Crenna, created by Irving Pincus.
Want you to meet the family known as the real McCoys. From West Virginia they came to stay in sunny California. That's Grandpappy Amos and the two little boys, his favorite grandson, Luke McCoy. Want you to meet Pepino, the family's hired hand. And that's old George who lives next door, a friend and neighbor you met before. Together they share all the sorrows and joys of the family known as the real McCoys.
Well, looks like he's going to make another hole in our budget. And here I was figuring on going into this month on a regular debt without no trouble, ain't you?
I sure wish you'd let me fix the car, Grandpa. We could use the money we'd saved to make a payment on the mortgage.
Luke, leaving you fix that car is just like leaving a man play a bass drum with a pickaxe. We need a mechanic.
I know a mechanic on his jeep, too.
Who is he?
My cousin.
Good. You can tell him on our usual terms. Nothing down and the rest when we get it.
Well, any other way will just confuse him. I don't think it's right to let some stranger go tinkering around with Gertie's innards.
Now, look here, Luke. We had a full democratic discussion, and now I'm going to settle this in a democratic way. Peppina's cousin is going to do the job, and that's that.
That ain't fair.
Look, the head of the McCoys makes the decisions around here, and that's me.
Well, if you expect me to follow in your footsteps, I guess I'm just going to have to learn some of your head McCoy virtues, like being ornery and hog-stubborn and...
Boy, I just want to hear you snap your teeth right down on them disrespectful words. It takes a lifetime to be a head McCoy. How do you do? I'm Sir Fergus McCoy. Sir? What? Who? Fergus McCoy, Scotland. We don't need that. Oh, he said he's a McCoy. He got the name off the mailbox. Come on, I'm a relative of yours. The relative. Are you daft? Close your mouth and open the door.
Grandpa, he looks like a McCoy. And he sounds like one.
He ain't no Scotch McCoys, Luke.
Are you denying my very existence? I got the whole clan McCoy right here in my hand. You're Amos McCoy from West Virginia, a descendant of Private Seth McCoy, who fought in your revolution, a grandson of Angus McCoy, who was a cousin of my famous ancestor, General Sir Duncan McCoy. Now, what do you say to that?
Grandpa says, come right in. Kinfolk is always welcome. You look at all them McCoys. Why, they're thicker than fleas on a long-haired dog.
The Scotch McCoys have always been a warlike clan. If they couldn't find strangers to fight with, they fought with each other.
It's a thing for us McCoys to be very proud of. ¿Verdad, señor Grandpa?
Unfortunately, we have an unbroken history of always choosing the wrong side.
Well, history is still repeating itself, just like rabbits.
Now, here's where we start. A common ancestor, Andrew McCoy, left Ireland late one night in the 15th century, just barely ahead of a flock of arrows.
What happened?
Of all the girls he might have wooed, like a true McCoy, he chose the wrong one. A lassie with 6 big, brawny and rather touchy brothers. It wasn't until he crawled out dripping on the shores of Scotland that he remembered he didn't know how to swim.
Where'd that sir come from in front of the McCoy name?
That title was given to us by King Charles I, just before Cromwell chopped off his head.
Sounds like we was also on the wrong side of that axe, too.
So, the rest of the McCoys did what every generation of McCoys has done. When we had the chance, we ran. Back to McCoy Castle in the Highlands.
Castle? What? You mean we got us a castle?
Well, aye.
And it's still standing?
Leaning would give you a better picture.
I suppose there's a lot of land goes to that castle.
Hey, it goes. Most of it went last year. So, I decided I'd visit my American relatives. If they'd put up with me and put me up.
Sir Fergus, seeing as how it ain't often we get visits from our royal kinfolk, we would be pleased to have you stay for a little while.
Thank you very much. I accept. I'd like to pay you a little towards my board and keep. But I'm ashamed to say I'm lacking in money.
Well, it ain't no shame to be without money. If it was, why, we'd be the most shameful people in this whole valley.
Thanks again. My baggage is just outside the door.
I will get it. It's a great honor to be of help to a Supremo, the Royal Highness of our family.
Now, if you're wondering what part of Scotland he's from, he ain't. Peppino's an adopted McCoy.
Well, it's delightful to know that even an adopted McCoy knows that I am, after all, by age, tradition, and hereditary title, the laird of all the McCoys.
I don't know what laird means. Unless it's Scottish for he's got my chair. We're just wasting valuable time sightseeing this tourist McCoy around.
Grandpa, ain't you being a mite disrespectful to the head of the McCoys? I mean, Sir Fergus wants to see the place.
What are you doing with this section of the property?
We're ignoring it. Thank you, Floyd.
In Scotland, we wouldn't waste a piece of ground like this. I think you should put some sheep on it.
Sheep? Why, this is the West, Cousin Fergus. It ain't Scotland. Why, bringing sheep in here would start a range war with the cattlemen.
What cattlemen?
George McMichael, he's got a herd of cows.
Grandpa, three's a crowd, but it ain't a herd. I think the idea is downright splendid.
I do, too. Now, just a minute.
Now, Letty, show me the rest of the farm.
All right, Sir Fergus. Sir?
Them stupid sheep. One thing I can't stand is stupid animals that make stupid noises. Well, thank you, Floyd. I know you'd agree with me.
The barn will be much more efficient now that unnecessary wall has been torn down.
Yeah, well, I just can't understand why nobody ever thought of it before.
Yoo-hoo, anybody home?
Oh, not only anybody, but everybody. Come on in, Florrie.
Oh, I'm sorry you've got company.
Oh, nothing special, just a relative.
This just happens to be Sir Fergus McCoy of Scotland, Europe. Just the highest mucky-muck of all the McCoys, that's all.
Sir?
This is Miss Florrie McMichael, our mighty nice neighbor.
Miss McMichael.
I've never met royalty before. And of all things, a McCoy. How long will you be staying?
Well,
just as long as his nobility wants to. Right, Grandpa?
Looks like even longer.
I just can't get over it. A McCoy. And polite.
Well, now, if you're through gasping and staggering, get to what you come here for.
Oh, Amos,
You must know about the Ladies' Guild having their annual formal dance.
Well, I guess I heard, but I didn't pay it no mind.
Oh, Senor Grandpa, that's the big fiesta where the ladies invite the men.
And Amos, the time has come around again. And here I am.
Well, Florrie, I ain't so sure. I'll have to give it some thought.
Oh, now, Amos.
Say, Florrie, I got a great idea. As long as Grandpa don't feel up to going, why don't you invite Sir Fergus here to go with you?
Would you? Would you really? Oh, it would be such a privilege, such an honor.
My dear lady, it will be my pleasure.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, I just can't wait to tell the girls about this. Royalty at our dance. Oh, thank you, Your Highness.
What a bonny lass.
She's fickle and deceitful.
So gay and full of life.
She's nothing but a goddamn playgirl. I'm getting mighty tired of his putting on airs and trying to run things around here. He's just another poor McCoy. His high and mighty Royal Highness don't cut no fancy figure with me.
When a body meets a body coming through the line, can a body kiss a body, feel a body cry? How do I look, ladies?
Embarrassing and scandalous. You ain't going to that dance with your bandies and hanging out like that, are you?
In my part of the Highlands, I'm famous for my knees and my well-turned calves.
Why, around here, you're liable to get arrested. I don't show that much of my bare legs and swim it all.
Oh, he don't really mean that, Sir Fergus. Why, you look just great.
Well, maybe I should not have worn this.
Oh, no, you look...
That's Florrie. Come here, sit man.
Florrie!
I know I'm a little late, but I just... Oh, Sir Fergus.
Do I look all right, Miss McMichael? I mean, will this be suitable for the occasion?
All right. Suitable? Oh, Sir Fergus, I've never seen anything so... Why, it's just marvelous. Oh, please, can we go right away? I just can't wait to show you off. Oh, hello, Amos. Bye.
Good night. Why, don't they make a fine-looking couple?
They should do. Well, now, you two just better get yourself to bed. I got work laid out for you in the morning. Stump pulling and post-hole digging.
Well, what do you think, Senor Luke? Well, it sounds all right to me. Of course, we'll have to check with Sir Fergus. He might have counted on something else.
Damn done it. Damn ripped it. Damn tore it clean apart.
Well, what's the trouble?
That man has took the last day advantage of my natural hospitality and sweet disposition. The time has come to fight. This will be the second time that us Americans has had to get rid of royalty.
Go right in, Mr. McCoy.
Thank you, ma'am. Hi, Mr. McCoy. Good to see you. Nice to see you. Sit down. Thank you.
Well, what can I do for you?
Well, you can foreclose my mortgage or serve me with an eviction notice.
Yes. Well, now, what can I do for you?
Well, I want you to get up the papers that'll take my farm away and fling me right out into the road.
See, have a nice cold drink of water.
Can you get them papers out today?
You been working pretty hard lately, out in the sun?
Ain't that kind of a stupid question? You know it's pretty hard to run a farm from indoors. Well, what about it?
Well, look, you're behind with your payments as usual, but over the years we've grown accustomed to that. You know, quite some time ago we agreed it'd be easier on us to go along with your philosophy of financing.
Well, now, that's all mighty nice, but now I'm asking you a favor to serve them papers.
Now, Mr. McCoy, I know you're a proud man. And I know you take your obligations very seriously, and that's why we're always glad to accommodate you. But I will not foreclose on you.
Well, now I'm asking you as a favor.
Well, I just won't do it.
Well, all right, I'm going to tell everybody about the sloppy way you're running this here bank. Even bad risks like us McCoys get so far behind.
Oh, Mr. McCoy.
I got a half a notion to take my debts to some other banks.
Now, just 1 minute.
Now I'm going to ask you once and for all, are you going to do what I ask? Yes or no? All right, yes.
Yes, Mr. Preston.
Miss Peterson, prepare eviction papers for the McCoys immediately. Thank you.
Hello, Dad. Don't the McCoys owe you a lot of money down at the store? I thought so. Well, I think there's something you better know. Mr. Preston just told me to get an eviction notice out for the McCoys.
Well, this is an eviction notice. Oh, well, there must be some mistake. We're only 4 payments behind, which makes us about 2 payments ahead of what we usually are.
Sorry, Luke. You know, I hate this job. It's made me into a social outcast.
That's all right, Don.
There certainly is a lovely piece of country you've got around here.
Grandpa!
What's the matter, laddie?
Grandpa! Luke, what's the matter, boy? Hey, Luke! Why, Luke, you got that tragedy look writ all over you.
Grandpa, we just got an eviction notice from the bank.
Eviction notice?
Santa Maria de los Ángeles.
I noticed. I've been trying hard, Luke, to keep the secret. We've gone from bad to impossible, but I can't do it no more. You got the bitter end right there in your hand.
Talk to the man at the bank.
Talk to him? I begged him on my knees on that expensive carpet.
Grandpa, wherever they throw you out to, you will find me there already.
Thank you, Pepino. Cousin Fergus, you don't have to leave right now. I insist that you stay here and share our poverty with us. When bad luck comes, you know, it's always nice to have an extra McCoy around to sort of split it.
Miss you, Cousin Fergus. Ain't we, Grandpa?
Yes. Things just won't be the same.
Much as I'd like to stay, I can't impose on you any longer. I just don't know where I'm going, and I haven't many years to go. But what time I have left will be warmed by the memory of what I've learned here. You make me proud to be a McCoy. There's my taxi.
Wait just a minute. I can't leave a McCoy go away with nothing in his pocket. Here, take this.
No, I couldn't.
No, it ain't but $12.39, but it's all we got for what?
Please, I couldn't have taken money.
That taxi charges for waiting, so you better go.
Oh, you're right. With that meter ticking away, it'll have to be a brief goodbye. Goodbye.
Adios, Sir Fergus.
That poor old Freddy sure got his troubles.
He's got troubles. Well, our die's got nothing but 1s and 2s on it. Grandpa, we're being evicted.
Oh, that.
Well, it's a great experience being a McCoy.
Look. Well, I guess I can't help looking on the bright side of things.
Grandpa, what about the eviction?
Well, I asked Mr. Preston to do me a favor, and he done it. You know, that Cousin Fergus has done took off, why, he'll take the paper back again.
Well, of all the low-down, sneaky, ornery, miserable tricks.
Well, now, Luke, when one McCoy fights another McCoy, that's the only way he can win.
No. What about this eviction?
Well, you just leave everything to the only head of the McCoys there is, standing right here by you now. You ain't got nothing to worry about. Absolute nothing. What's going on here?
Well, Grandpa, you let the fuse of our credit just blew up in our face.
What's he say, boy?
Come on, boy, pay up.
I want my money now.
Hold it, will you? Hold it a minute. All right, one at a time now.
We want our money.
We know the bank's foreclosing.
Hold it now, fellas. Will you? There's nothing happened to our credit. Why, it's just as bad as all ours was.
Never mind the happy talk.
We've had enough of that blue sky jazz. We want our money now.
We should have
Of course not. The whole thing is well, it's a kind of a joke. Ain't it, Luke? Wait out there now. If you don't believe me, call Mr. Preston at the bank. He'll tell you our credit's still good. He ain't about to foreclose on us. Now, go on, call him. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Call him.
Senor Luke, what's all this?
Well, you remember Grandpa told us we had nothing to worry about?
Yeah.
Well, this is the nothing we're worrying about.
I want to talk to Mr. Preston. What? Oh, I see. Thank you. You think of every trick, don't you, Amos? Why, what's the matter?
We can't check on him. Mr. Preston just left for a 2 weeks vacation in Hawaii.
Cousin Amos, I couldn't have let you do it. I couldn't have rest easy knowing that you were suffering because of the money you'd given another McCoy. So I came back to return it to you. The whole $300 of it.
300, but...
Don't argue. Do as I say. Have you forgotten so soon that I'm the laird of the McCoys?
But be quiet, laddie. Luke, you take a friend outside and money him up a bit.
All right, everybody outside on the porch now. You're all going to get paid off now. Outside.
But Luke, don't overdo it, boy. Only pay them bills that's over 60 days old.
I wasn't worried a bit. It was my wife.
Well, Fergus, it's a mighty nice thing you done. But don't know how we're going to pay you back.
You'll send me a bit at a time. That'll be all right.
Yeah, but what are you going to do for money? The way I figured, you as bad off as we is.
I've a wee small confession to make to you. I'm no so poor as I sound. I've lived a long time and I've been very careful. You might even say, stingy. what with piling 1 shilling on top of another of a bit of an income.
Well, seeing as how we're in the confession stage, I'd like to say that...
Amos, all I'm remembering is that you gave me all you had. $12.38.
39 cents, Fergus. All I can say is we better have us a rocket chair built for two.